I think it's just called a Santa hat.
Oh, I need to start wearing my Santa hat. Oh, that'll be next week. It'll be Santa next week.
I have a white up Santa hat.
I'm supposed to be at TP USA starting Thursday.
Are you going to make it?
Probably.
Like, were you invited or just?
I'm
press passes with Vets talking.
Yeah, it's supposed to be press.
Oh, nice.
Tonight on a very special episode of Comics Division.
Well, Culture's here, so that's a pretty accurate statement, I guess.
Culture gets to interview Danica Patrick.
Yes, I do.
Nice.
Cool.
My daughter is furious that we aren't going.
I invited you.
I know. But I've got company in town for Christmas for the next 2 weeks, so I wasn't going to leave while there's company at my house.
I would feel insulted that you didn't ask me, but I couldn't go anyway.
I did ask.
When?
I've asked everybody here. I asked everybody here last week.
I wasn't here.
I don't recall you asking me.
Ask Brahma.
That was on a Sin and Art.
Culture Casino.
Oh, I tried.
I am looking now. I'm actually looking what I consider to be porn right now.
Oh, was
A
it
staccato C mid-size magnum opus on the cover of Shooting Illustrated. So there.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
We'd like you to have this flower.
It's almost indecent.
Excuse me, sir. Would you?
Every time I open it up,
Why does something say offline?
Juice for Jesus.
You-
About Jehovah's Witness.
I don't know.
What?
about Buddhism.
Buddhism.
Help Gary's kids. You punch me. I'm trying to help the kids.
To be fair, you were asking for it.
I know.
Hey, there's a Christmas clip in the background. Did you see that? There's a Christmas clip.
Martin or Rossi?
What?
Asking Comics. Martin or Rossi?
Asking me what?
Martin lever action or Rossi lever action?
Oh, okay. I was like, I can't say I'm a clever acting expert, though.
I think I'm gonna go 40.
Not Henry. I have no idea.
Rossi is makes Henry's their license, but they make them down in Brazil. Pretty good. I think it's Brazil. I just want a 4570 government so I can dislocate my shoulder every week.
Fair enough.
I can't pleasure myself again because my shoulders
See if this is gonna be the pen or the pen.
in another county.
Oh, no, John. I'm sorry to hear that. Everyone's all right.
Penis.
Well, that
Gagging
sucks.
you with entertainment.
Indeed.
Sorry, John.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday. Apparently, CNN is tripping all over itself, embarrassing themselves. We'll get into that. A lot of fun stuff to talk about. Landman season 6, episode 6.
Season 6.
Damn.
All the way to season 6, guys.
Wow, that didn't take long.
Dude.
45-year-old Texas boobies.
I went through a fucking wormhole. What the hell?
I don't know.
You did
Why?
what to a worm's hole?
It's called being exhausted, dude. Sometimes you just say stupid
What'd you do? Go to work?
Well, I fucking fell asleep after 1 a.m., which was not fun. Anyway, let's bring in the rest of the panel since I'm talking to myself. It just looks
Rest
weird.
of the panel. No, it
Yeah.
The
doesn't.
rest of the panel.
Everybody here pays to see you. They don't care about
They
us.
don't care about us.
It's true.
I guess. Well,
Most of us don't care about us.
Let's kick things off with a little bit of super chats here, folks. TVG Monster for $2 says, "Hi, comics and everyone. Missed you all Thursday." Yeah, sorry about that. I went to go see Jordan Peterson on Thursday, which is the reason why I didn't have the show.
By the way?
It was good. It was very interesting.
And it wouldn't matter anyway because I wasn't here.
Yeah. The funny thing about it is, Jordan Peterson gets labeled a misogynist and whatnot. Was that a joke?
I'm sorry. That was a delay because that's how old Culture's joke was.
Okay.
Thanks.
Got it.
Thanks.
They kind of label him a misogynist, and there was actually a lot of women at the panel, not protesting, like participating. So
I want to be with him in his voice because he sounds so much like Kermit the Frog.
You're a chimpanzee full of snakes.
Yeah,
Make your bed.
Voice.
Yeah. Clean your room. Evil Kermit the Frog here, encouraging young men to go and clean the rooms because we want to make society a better place. What's misogynistic about that? Well, apparently that's anti-feminist. Anyway, Roland Wretched for $20. Simmons Claus wanted me to remind you all he's making a list. Dear God, no. He's checking your rate. Going to tell you who's gay and who's straight. Spoiler: the panel is gay. Simmons Claus is coming to town.
Simmons Claus is coming, all right.
Yeah, definitely coming. Yeah.
At least Roland knows how to get to Webster's Dictionary Thesaurus to look up what rhymes with straight. So there you go.
Yep. Roland for another $20. He sees you when you're sleeping. And that's kind of creepy. He knows when you're masturbating. Spoiler alert. It's constantly. He knows if you are good or bad, so better be good for goodness sake. Simmons Claus is coming to town. Merry Christmas.
I got to get a still image of, if we can, of him after the member stream when he looked like the Mr. Clean and Colonel Sanders had a baby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got to get that.
That would be
That's it.
fun.
Nothing funny.
That shit was absolutely
was funny.
Yeah.
Brahma's gone. Something happened to Brahma. The drones got him.
The drones. Yeah, the New Jersey drones flew all the way to where he's at to go get him.
It was the white tie.
Well, the funny thing about it is if you just waited like 5 seconds.
Yeah. Go away.
It's because he's a pimp.
It just said sinking and then nothing.
Oof. Yeah.
It was sinking, all right.
Yeah.
Like a ship with a big old hole in it. TVG Monster for $5. Fully hyped for 28 years later. Yeah, that trailer looks really fucking good, man. Mm-hmm. It's hard to say who has more punchable face, Nick Cuckman or Disney. Or Destiny, sorry. Disney, Destiny, same difference.
Neil Cuckman, yeah, whatever. All the same.
I like calling him Neil Fuckman.
Mm-hmm.
Or Neil
I think Destiny has the most punchable face.
Well, especially the way his jaw just dislocates while he talks.
Yeah, he's kind of weird. We might put that in a poll. By we, I mean me.
Fair enough. TVG Monster for one gifted membership. Thank you, sir. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope all of you guys had a great weekend. Sabertooth Raptor for $2. Tech support scam attacks are going around. Beware. That's kind of weird.
No truth to the rumor that I'm now in tech support and you don't have to take my call. So none of that.
Also, Jason Sandberg or Andy Sandberg.
Is it Andy?
Yeah.
I wonder if the show's coming back.
Happy Kwanzaa Eve, people. Yeah.
Andy Sandberg.
Davina Dunkworth says, R.I.P. Jeff, a.k.a. Legal Vices. Yeah, I heard about that. We were talking about that briefly before the show. It's very unfortunate to hear. Does anyone know what happened?
Heart failure.
Oh.
That'll do it.
Yeah. Get physically active, folks.
I have a camera on my parents' front door hooked up stuff. So, they're older. I can see what's going on and all that stuff. We talked about that, comics, having something around the parents and all that. And my favorite Coney place where you go get, Coney Islander and all that stuff around. When my dad goes to get it, because I can't get it around here. You can't get good hot dogs. Whatever they do, there's Chicago dogs around here. That's why Satan came from Chicago. is that Chicago dog with all that tomatoes and crap. they
Remember
put on it.
Demon Dogs? You remember Demon Dogs in the
Oh yeah,
city?
yeah. All the hot dogs up here suck. So I like the real. I like the small
Demon Dogs
ones.
is great.
I like them small. But so anyway, when he goes out to get that and bring that home, he stands in front of the doorbell thing and makes it ring a couple of times until I look at it, so he can show me that he's gotten it, and I don't get to have any, and then goes inside. So yeah, that's where I
You're
get it
not
from.
far from Gene and Jude's and Super Dogs, which are two of the best hot dog joints on the damn planet.
Now, the Chicago dog itself is next to pickles for me. It just
And what are your
Satan's
thoughts on
drink.
pickles?
I hate pickles. Those are the devil's.
Oh,
drink.
okay. I'm not wild on pickles either. All right, I
Yeah.
get you there.
Something seriously wrong with you too.
What? No. What? You can suck on those things all you want to.
Whoa.
You don't suck on pickles, you eat them, dude. You put them on your hamburger. I mean, what's the matter with you?
Anybody that eats pickles sucks on them.
Okay.
Why was Deeple?
Deeple for $1 says, comics, how was your date with Gary last week when you went to the Majestic? It lives up to it to see Jordan Peterson. Yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun. The Majestic Theater is very cool. I've been there a few times.
Oh yeah, I did see that. I was at the Majestic there. I've heard about that place. Is it
Also,
cool?
Hail Chat and Panel. Yeah, it was pretty. What was that?
Is the Majestic Theater cool? Because I've heard
Yeah,
a
it
lot
is.
about that place.
Yeah, it's an old building. It has a lot of really kind of cool architecture on the inside. It's pretty neat. Also, Hail Chat and Panel. Remember that comics is available Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 on the corner.
It's true.
On the corner of YouTube and streaming.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that. So Culture, are you caught up on Landman or are you still protesting it?
I'll get there.
Sometime between even I'm caught up, and I haven't done that on a show like in a while.
Look, okay.
Culture, I'm caught up too.
Okay, I just want to say, unlike the rest of you, I put in a full 17-hour day every day. So
Sucking dick.
it takes a little bit extra for me to catch up on stuff.
Which the rest of you are you talking about?
I have 24 hours a day.
Bell, you
Yeah.
keep cutting in and out.
I don't know what happened to your day, Culture.
Well, I mean, today
Bell's internet is being sucked up by watching Landman episodes in slow motion.
Is that Taylor Sheridan's ass? Ooh.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, that's what I call the last episode of Yellowstone. Taylor Sheridan's ass. Anyway,
It wasn't that bad.
it was woke. Anyway,
Why you guys talk
it
about
wasn't.
this dude's bunghole?
Did you say
We're-
woke or broke?
we're gonna give all of the land back to the Indians. Okay.
No, the point
yeah,
was
it's
to
about
not
damn
have-
time.
The point was to not have the corporations ever get a hold of the land.
Yes, I'm sure that
It
was the
wasn't
point.
woke.
And Neil Gorsuch
It was
actually voted for that.
Okay. Anyway, so no, I'm looking forward to catching up on Landman. But I released 3 videos today and did multiple live streams, and I recorded 6 game channel videos. So I did a little bit. Plus, I watched Mr. Gregory on Twitch. So what did you do? Yeah.
I worked.
Blades.
I wrote some code. And I prepared for the show. That's what I did.
Laundry, get dinner for the family, watch Bad
Well, I
Santa.
cooked tonight. Yeah, I did cook
Yeah.
tonight.
I also made dinner tonight too. Yeah.
Okay, well, we need to I'll get caught up and we can talk about Landman, and then you guys will be happy.
Oh, you know, there's only
we're going to
4
talk about
episodes
it either
left.
way.
Yeah, we're talking about it regardless.
Yes, but
24
you're gonna actually wait until I leave this time so that I don't sit here for 45 minutes and then leave, not saying more than 5 words.
Oh no, we're talking about now. I'm kidding.
What else is there to talk about? I mean, Tom's not on, so we're not talking about Acolyte yet.
No. Well, I mean, there's several things we can talk about. Obviously, I'm sure some of you have seen the new and improved Naughty Dog trailer for their next wonderful, amazing IP that's probably not going to make any money, called Intergalactic. Well, apparently the plot.
That was a Beastie Boys song.
Yeah, it probably was.
Planetary.
Apparently the plot has leaked online, by the way. So,
You know what else is leaked online? Brahmin is OnlyFans.
yeah, well.
Only milk.com.
Wait a minute.
What?
Are you talking about this
for his
terrible?
OnlyFans that comes with bull's milk?
Bull's milk.
Are you talking about this terrible video game written by Neil Druckmann?
Yes, I'm talking about the new video game written by Neil Druckmann.
This is.
Oh, that's right.
This is written by like a 14-year-old girl. I mean, Neil Druckmann. So it is terrible.
One the same.
Terrible.
Oh my god.
Is it terrible?
Yeah.
Yeah. The funny thing about the plot is honestly very paint by numbers. Very, very paint by numbers. So apparently this was leaked to Reddit. Oh, sorry, 4chan. It was leaked to 4chan.
4chan, Reddit, all nuts.
Yeah, same fucking difference.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. A 4chan user shared a summary of the alleged. Again, the keyword is alleged. We have no idea if this is actually the case, but I'll be honest with you, it probably will be. And it claims it was sent to a handful of games journalists, the most notable, who includes Jason Schreier. Who did Schreier work for? Culture? You remember? Is it Kotaku?
I mostly don't care, but he's basically worked for everybody. He's working for like a reputable outlet right now, but yeah, he's garbage.
Well, yeah, he is. I mean, he's very notable for writing anti-gamer articles during Gamergate. Mm-hmm. That was his bread and butter. I think it kind of still is, to be honest. But they are debating whether or not to share it. The leaker is supposedly a disgruntled Naughty Dog member who hates the direction the company is going as Fuckman gets more powerful and influential as part of the reasons why Schreier is hesitant to give the okay. The summary, the character of Jordan was a member of the Five Aces, a band of notorious criminals. The leader, Lewis, Tony Dalton, disappeared without a trace, causing the Five to drift apart. The reason for Jordan's shaved head, the absurd reaction to which Naughty Dog fully expected, is to serve the hiding of her identity, as she is a wanted criminal. Yes, shaving your head always works.
She hiding the baloney pony? What?
Probably.
Oh.
Yeah, that sounds like a fucking lame-ass excuse as to why the character has a shaved head. But okay, whatever. This is the future. You think that they could do a little bit more extreme measures to hide their identity rather than just going and shaving their head, but okay, whatever. Okay, Jordan works as a bounty hunter purely as a means to find her former partners, particularly Lewis, who she sees as a father figure. Any guesses as to what's going to happen with the father figure? Because we can't have.
He's going to leave them.
Well, he already left them.
Up.
Well, okay. Anything else?
Converts to Buddhism.
About Buddhism. You know what? That one 15-second clip in Airplane is 10 times more interesting than anything you've just talked about. Yeah, probably.
It's insane. They can't write to save their ass.
Yeah. It continues. Camille Nanjiani plays Colin. That's a very Indian-sounding name, by the way, which I think is kind of funny. The comic relief of the crew, the tutorial and opening mission is on the Semperia moon, leading to Jordan chasing Colin into space. An important note from the leak is that there will be no space combat. The aforementioned segment is a cutscene as they fly into the Semperian atmosphere, and EMP disables both ships, leading them to crash in different locations. The bulk of the game is described as an open world, Uncharted mix with sci-fi elements. The majority of enemies combatants are AI machines, but with wide variety of types, melee, ranged, and even vehicle combat are in the game. Based off of operations in the game, is your base of operations is a ship essentially, which can be customized as you find each member of your crew. They will join you in the ship with seamless interactions depending on day-night cycle. Think of Red Dead Redemption in your search for Lewis. It states. So the majority of the game is just going and tracking down your former members of your crew. Of course, there's also an alien species on the planet, which leaks kind of get into. The gist of the plot is that Lewis sent a message to all the members of the Five, excluding Jordan, to meet on the planet. They were specifically instructed to come alone and not to mention this to any of the members, any of the other members. Once 3 members of the crew besides Lewis join you, the game takes a hard turn. An underground dwelling race of aliens known as the Semperians kidnap Jordan's teammates. The ship is all but the ship and all of its decoration customizations is destroyed. Basically, they're basing it off of Mass Effect 2. Think of the collector's event. So, yeah, this game is going to be crap. So, ultimately, what you find out is that Luis has sold out his crew. And the title, which is the Heretic Prophet, is basically him because the alien race turns out to be humans that were sent here way back in the past when they were basically developing space exploration, got stuck there. And they basically want to go back to Earth, wipe everybody out, and basically reclaim their homeland for themselves. That's the plot of the movie. That's the plot of the game. And it sounds pretty fucking lame.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the comment about basically apparently Druckmann read Heart of Darkness.
That is good.
Yeah. So, yeah, not terribly impressed with what we've seen. Of course, there's been a common theme throughout basically modern video games when it comes to women for the most part, which is let's take a either reasonably attractive or attractive woman and make them ugly as sin. You know, the funny thing about it, and let me find an actual picture of Jordan. Here we go. Not that angle, but the first thing I thought when I saw the character is I thought it was Drew Taylor. Like legit, I thought the character was Drew Taylor.
Where is Terminus S when we need him?
Yeah.
To be where the Drew.
Yep.
Where the Drew.
Oh, that's great.
God, those were the days. I got some more Nick Weiser flavors I got to come up with.
Yeah.
That's it. Let's make my flavors great again.
I almost texted you to say, "Hey man, congratulations on being in a video game."
Drew. I hope he's okay. I know he's
why is your
on
character called the Peg Man?
I believe he just recently got married.
I
Yes.
thought he's
whoa,
engaged.
what?
Yeah, I believe he got married.
He's either engaged or got married.
Holy crap. Well, that came out of nowhere. Well,
Yep.
hopefully as long as that's a sincere thing then.
Yep.
Okay.
Please like, share, and subscribe to the stream because comics getting tired of walking those streets.
So, Culture, got any thoughts on this game?
It's going to be terrible if they put it out.
I don't think there's an if. I think it is going to come out regardless.
I don't know. I mean, Naughty Dog needs to pay attention to everything else that's been happening around them. We're about to watch Ubisoft be exposed for even a larger failure than we even realized. You have the Mass Effect maker and its parent company about to choke down a giant shake full of garbage. And I don't think you want to add to that if you can avoid it.
Who owns Naughty Dog?
Sony.
Sony.
Are they actually owned by Sony?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Well, I thought, okay, maybe they are. I just thought they did mainly exclusive deals with them, but apparently they're owned. But
if they're owned by Sony, then they don't really have to worry all that much.
Yeah, I was gonna
Sony's
say,
got enough money backing it that they don't give a crap what it does on sales.
Yeah,
that's why I was trying
well,
to.
I don't think that's true because we did see them shutter. Oh, was it Firewalk Studios, which is the maker of Concord? So I mean,
they bought Firewalk out from underneath something Monsters or whatever it was, something Monster. Anyway, they bought that from them just for that game, and then because that game failed so spectacularly, and they spent so much money on just redeveloping the game plus the studio, they shut down Firewalk Studio.
Yep.
And look, I mean, this is going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. BioWare, as this story is amazing.
Yeah.
They're going to do something that will poison the entire gaming industry.
Oh yeah, dude. I was thinking the exact same thing. So
we're covering this tomorrow.
Culture, go ahead and give the rundown.
Sure. So BioWare may actually be doing something you never ever do. And this is like one of the last big pieces that's not sports at EA that could actually make money.
Yeah, in a nutshell, it's basically bait and switch.
Yeah. So what they'll do is they'll drop a game with nothing in it, no political garbage whatsoever. And then they will stealth introduce all of the politically charged narrative, at some point in a patch.
Patch it in.
Yeah. And if they do that post-launch, after it's gotten all the, this doesn't have political stuff in it. Oh, this game's great. Oh, this was wonderful. Return to form. Once they get all that praise they get hype, they drop the shit in it. It's over. No one will ever trust a 5A studio again.
Isn't that also like fucking lawsuit material right there?
Because it is not in the United States, but in a lot of European countries, absolutely. It
I don't know, dude. You would think that'd be false advertising. You advertise the game as not being woke, you release it, and then you patch it in later. That seems like you fucking lied.
Well, what if they didn't say it wasn't woke? What if they just said the greatest game, a return to form? They didn't say any of that.
Just play
that shit for Veilguard.
Just play it and see what you think. And then
after. And I'm going to tell you right now, Veilguard may have actually already killed BioWare, but we won't know that for a while. This, if they do it, it will kill all of the other studios. The other studios might sue them because it will remove all faith in any of these large studios. And that's the last thing that BioWare or the mainstream industry could deal with. I mean, they're already going to deal with the fallout coming out of GTA 6, but that is going to be unique in its own way. But this could be a terrible, terrible disaster.
Yeah. Well, I think it is going to be very bad for the industry because what this will ultimately mean, if they do this, if they actually go through it and they release the game, there's no woke nonsense into it. People are like, hey, game's great. They go and buy it, and then they introduce it. Like you said, this basically is introducing a poison pill for this company because any future games, people are not going to trust. They're not going to buy. Even if people say, hey, the game's great. They're going to go, we're going to wait for the patch and see what happens, which means that they're not going to get any fucking sales or their sales will
by platform.
BioWare, I mean, yeah, they basically, it should probably come out on PC and both consoles.
Yeah. Well, if they do that, I mean, maybe there's enough stink raised in the Steam community that Steam actually tells them that you're going to issue refunds on it.
Yeah,
I mean, that's about the only one that they could.
Well, even if, let's say they don't, let's say it doesn't happen. Yeah, it will literally kill their company because like nobody will trust them ever again to buy their shit.
Yeah.
Well, it won't just be the company they kill. They will kill the industry. Nobody will trust because we all know the studios are in lockstep on this because of how they finance.
Mm-hmm.
So if they do it, the industry is dead. Well, the AAA industry is dead.
AAA.
All the other studios will be fine. And look, take a look at what's the studio that released the Warhammer game.
I'm blanking on the studio, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I mean, they'll be fine, and they'll be able to rise up and do well. And there will be studios that will all of a sudden become AAA studios because all of the effort, money, and talent will flow to them. But the nice thing is this will literally clean out the gaming industry real fast.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This is a surefire way of collapsing your industry. That's for sure.
Yeah. This is like, being Canada and saying, we're going to up the carbon tax.
Yeah.
Or being Germany and saying, we're going to take all of our nuclear plants offline.
Is GTA supposed to come on 2025?
The guy that we just largely discredited a minute ago from Bloomberg, that Jason Schreier guy, he doesn't believe it'll come out next year, despite the fact that it's slated to come out next year.
Do you think it'll come out? Do you guys think it's going to come out? Or?
If they do the things they need to do to pull it out of the woke hellhole that it's currently resting in, so that the game, does what the last game did, then no, it won't come out next year. If they say, fuck it, we made plenty of money on GTA 5 and GTA Online especially, we're going to drop this game anyway, then it's coming out next year.
Yeah.
We'll know soon enough.
Yeah, allegedly it's supposed to be coming out in 2025. I don't think it will.
Yeah, I think, and a lot more people are thinking that because as word leaks out about what's inside the game, it's if they release it that way,
well, if it truly is like a Bonnie and Clyde story, then
that would be great.
That would be great. I don't have a problem with that.
What if it's Clyde and Clyde?
How is it going to be Clyde and Clyde? Are they suggesting that?
It's just a thought. If that one of the many possible woke elements that have been floating around.
What's wrong with two gay dudes?
No. No. But there's some really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So all I can say is, and Lindsay is correct, it is slated for next year.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that much we've known, but there's speculation that it won't make it till.
Yeah, well, and when you hear someone like Schreier say that's highly unlikely, I mean, the guy's a douche, but he's well-informed douche.
Yep.
So
a well-informed douche.
Fair enough. Ghost of Yote, has there been updates?
Yotai. No, it's an old article referring to the voice actress that's a complete tool.
Yeah, well, apparently the voice actress for Intergalactic is a tool as well. That shit. Some of the shit that she said. Yeah. All right. Well, okay. So I'm curious because a lot of the shit that we're seeing, these trailers have been coming out, it was because of the video game awards that happened recently. And what's your thoughts on the whole thing with the next Witcher game with Ciri? I know a lot of people are kind of complaining about the way she looks. I thought she just looks like she's older to me.
No, well, first of all, she looks like she got beat by the ugly stick in comparison to Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt. But if you take that aside and the downgrade in graphics and the actual aesthetics, understand that the worst thing about it is it looks like it's going to break lore right out the gate.
Well, that part I know a lot of people are complaining about.
Yeah.
For me, like I said, I saw the side by sides. I'll be honest with you, it just looks like she's older to me.
I think the textural details and some other things there have not improved.
Because like if you go and compare to like the character of Jordan and what we're seeing from the Fable game and a lot of other video games, I mean,
she's not near as ugly as what they've done to most women in most games.
Right. I mean, honestly, I don't think she looks ugly. She just looks like she's in her 40s now, because it's supposed to be like 15 to 20 years later. She's supposed to be like much older at this point.
Compare her jaw and jaw shape and chin, and I think you'll arrive at a different conclusion. But that's neither here nor there.
I tried looking at the jaw. It looks similar to me, honestly, man.
Okay, well, all right.
I didn't play the games, so I haven't seen the old model of her, but I didn't see anything.
Let me see if I can find
this model.
I think the largest, like I said, I think the largest problem that fans are going to have is that it just wrecks the lore left and right. She should not be under the influence of a potion, as she obviously is in multiple of those images.
Right.
And women do not pass the trial of the grasses.
Yeah.
They just don't. So, and not only that, here's the worst thing of it all. And we say this a few times in a video we're dropping over on that game place in the next few days. She's more powerful than a Witcher. So why is she taking a downgraded Witcher's potion? And is the intro demo, whatever you want to call it, that we saw, teaser, trailer, whatnot, is that, outside of being obviously the playable version of the intro of the game, is that maybe a dream? Because that's the only way it's excusable. Because the creatives there said very specifically in a Q&A, and mind you, we cover all this in the video, that it will not break lore. Well, it will not change canon.
Well, it could be a dream, or it could be she's taking something that isn't Witcher potions, but they wanted to keep the mechanic in the game.
By the way, I want to pull this up because tell me that's not Drew Taylor.
Oh, it's Drew. Dude, that's Drew. That's Drew with a big gulp. I'm just saying.
I know. I think Divion has.
Drew better be getting royalties. If this is the case,
no.
someone better give him money for likeness. This is.
Oh, you're brave scrolling your Twitter live.
Yeah.
No. I'm checking in Dimion's because he made a post about it. That's fucking hilarious. Trying to find like the side by side.
It's kind of side by side.
There we go. Let's take a look at that.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. There we go.
Balls.
Yeah, that's a more feminine chin on the left, and on the right, it's more jutted out.
I don't know, dude. It could.
Yeah, but it's not like a hard jawline.
Elongated. Well,
Wow.
Not sure.
Anyways.
Yeah, it is less attractive by miles. Yeah, I think.
The other thing too is I don't know if it's like because like this is like old style, old school, and
cartoonish realistic.
Yeah, exactly, cartoonish realistic. Where I think when you start getting into the more realistic stuff, sometimes it starts getting into the bit of the uncanny valley.
Okay.
I mean, there's more fullness, more fullness to the face, but
I'm not going to go out of the way and defend CD Projekt Red because we all know a couple of years ago, was it 2020 when they released that ESG video?
Right. Yeah.
Because we know they're sucking Big Daddy ESG.
Yeah.
Right?
She just looks pregnant.
I don't know if that's the case.
That's what I would say. All right, she looks pregnant here, not pregnant. Pregnant.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. To me,
20 years older.
This looks like a 20-year-old. This looks like a 40-year-old.
And they both
after 15 kids.
Yeah, and like getting hit in the face 7 or 8 times.
Well, no, just turn it on him.
Oh.
Just turn it on him and say, okay, she's 40. She's had about 15 children at this point. Been a mother and all that stuff and everything. So yeah, they're just being feminist. Real true feminism, being a mom. Mm-hmm. In fact, in medieval times, she'd probably already be a grandmother multiple times over. So I'm all for that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm totally discounting the Adam's apple that I see. But
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah.
That looks more like shadow than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
It's just shadow. Yeah, it's an Adam's shadow.
Shadows of an
shadow.
apple. Shadow of an apple.
That does not look like an Adam's apple. That looks like shadow.
Siri has drunk the 5 o'clock shadow potion.
Well, the funny thing about it
Apologies.
is I actually kind of do prefer the older graphics at this point.
Me too. That's the problem. They moved from their amazing red engine to what?
They moved to
Cinematic.
not Unity.
Unreal.
They
Unreal.
moved to fuck.
No, I was
Everything's moved to Unreal.
Yeah. And the problem is now we're not going to get a good looking Cyberpunk follow up game, which I'm pissed about.
It's a ma'am
I
apple.
thought they are working on it.
Mhm, that was good.
They are. It's not going to be on the red engine.
I know it's not going to be on the red engine because you know why it's not going to be on the red engine culture. You know the answer, buddy.
Because they kicked everybody out of there that knew how to use it.
Did they kick him out or did they quit because they were like, fuck this noise?
Well, they were tired of the ESG baloney sausage DEI craptasticness of it all.
Automac's right. The kids just drop out on the kitchen floor at this stage. It becomes, at this age.
It's that loose that they just kind of fall right out.
Well, she's shooting them out of there.
Yep.
No,
It's a water
never an
ride.
accident.
It's a water ride.
Basically, her vulva is a flume.
Flume.
Basically.
Theme park.
Basically.
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 Yes.
Basically.
Basically.
I'm gonna beat Jake Paul. That's what I'm gonna beat Jake Paul.
Basically.
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 You know what? You would never say that to his face.
No, because the man's insane.
He might remove your head.
Lindsay
with
wants.
his fist.
I promise you, Lindsay's going to want to kill me after this.
There's two things I never do.
James
Piss off
Lindsay?
Mike Tyson
No.
and walk into the same bathroom that Comics Division's in, because you never know.
The cynical lady in the chat. She's going to come out.
Oh, Lindsay the cynical geek.
Lindsay.
Hello.
All right.
We got
Jeff.
24 votes in the poll, so I'm going to end it.
Okay.
I'm ending
There
the
were
poll.
votes.
Yes, there were votes. There were 74 votes in the poll.
Votes.
Destiny is
Destiny.
the most smackable face, 58% to 41%.
Yep. By the
It's
way,
true.
you stand comics up
careful.
next to Destiny, and comics is way taller.
He's taller than you, too.
Indeed.
Jaffo for $4.99 there. Comics, why don't you read that? We missed Jaffo. How you doing, buddy?
It says, glad you enjoyed Jordan Peterson. Hopefully you didn't ship another tooth on Gary's Prince Albert.
There it is.
I thought it was Gary's turn to play Bobert this time.
Oh, ho, ho.
Well, what
Oh.
Jaffo doesn't know is it's his turn in the barrel, so joke's on him, really.
I'm trying to imagine you and Jordan Pearson the way Paul Rudd and Jason Segel were in I Love You Man when they were at the Rush concert, and Paul Rudd's girlfriend in the movie, Zoe, was just watching that. And that's you and Gary at Jordan Peterson, if you remember that scene.
I've never seen the movies.
Oh, you
so.
should. You
yeah.
should watch I Love You Man. It's great.
Deeple1 for $1 says, I nominate the following topics: the excellent opening weekend debuts of Craven and the War of the Rohirrim.
11 million.
Bikini,
Woo.
dude. I don't fucking get why people were going. She looks fat.
Oh,
She
that
looked
I was
fine.
like, I'm like, what the? I think all of us in the fellowship were going, what the fudge are you talking
Yeah,
about?
you're fucking high. It's like that's false advertising. That should be. It's like, okay, what the fuck ever, dude.
That-
Well, we
Actually,
also know that
that's-
she's bulking up for a boxing role.
The boxing role that she's got. Plus,
That
Oh, I had no
nobody
idea.
seemed to mention that when
Yeah,
they
plus
were
I-
showing
I wasn't
pictures.
aware of that. So
yeah, she's playing what's her name? Christy
Who?
Martin. Christy Martin. The
Sydney
boxer.
Sweeney is playing a female boxer in a biopic, so
Mhm.
she has started bulking up for it.
okay.
Yeah, except Anyway,
Well, there-
her name,
there you go.
the name of the lady is the Christy Martin. It's Christy Martin's story that she's portraying. She's pretty yoked as it is. Plus, that's a telephoto lens from 1,000 million feet away, and the lighting is garbage. So calm down.
I was more shocked at the brown.
Well, that's kind of
hair
funny.
over
That
the
was my
blonde.
excuse for the whole thing with Siri. The lighting looks
Exactly.
bad.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
That's right.
But seriously, yeah, people complaining about the photo of Sydney Sweeney. I don't fucking get that. But it's the internet. Sydney Sweeney's bikini photo culture's 30-minute Midwestern goodbye have no idea what he's talking about.
Well, when it's time for culture to go, it'll
Oh,
take him 30 minutes to get out.
That's
yeah,
right.
actually, we're getting close to that.
We actually
now.
probably needed to start at 30 minutes ago.
we needed to start about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, we're behind.
Skeleton Crew bombing. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about
God,
that show.
that was terrible. But look, I mean, War of Rohirrim, Rohirrim, however, a million different ways I've heard Rohirrim, it's mispronounced. I will say that is a girl boss movie from the core. I got a lot of pushback on that, but I'm going to tell you, that is an unnamed character from an appendices that you created a story out of whole cloth and made her the heroine. Just so you could have a girl boss.
Is it an original story? You're using characters from there, but it's an original story.
It weaves inside of what they wanted to have maybe happen.
Yeah, I think that the larger issue with the story, first off, it's boring as fuck. The only parts that were actually good was with Helm Hammerhand when he was in it.
I don't know. Flying on the,
all right, what I heard you say was it's boring as fuck. The best part was with Helm Hammerhand.
That's the character's name. Yeah.
Fucking is boring, but masturbation is just fine. I got it. Okay.
Well, no, actually, I was going to say that the scenes with the Eagles stuff was cool.
But yeah,
did you have a peaceful, easy feeling?
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing that it was largely uninteresting, which is
that's being uniquely kind. But yeah,
it was boring, dude. That honestly, the biggest crime out of that movie, if I can call it a movie, is it was fucking boring. It was disinteresting.
So was Rings of Power.
Yeah, so was Rings of Power.
Okay, except
the only thing that was cool about it is when there was a dude being masculine, which was Helm Hammerhand.
Yeah.
And when he was going around fucking beating the shit out of people in the middle of the night.
Oh, and men are dumb. Especially that wolf fella. He's dumb.
Was he beating people in the barracks?
Yes, he was beating them off with his hammerhand talks. The reason why he's called Helm Hammerhand, as Gary explained it, is that basically in the beginning of the movie, he clocks a dude and kills him with one punch.
Yeah.
He's One Punch Man.
Yeah, he's a night guy.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. I am making fun of his name because it's hilarious.
I know.
Well, and that's why the because of this particular, I guess, we end up with Helm's Deep.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Helm's Deep is named after him.
Yeah, he goes
full Helm's Deep with his hammerhand.
He did.
Anyway, Nick the Greek for $1.99. If they want ugly women pro tags, just use culture.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
it's a good point.
Peter Shades Helicopter Tours for $5 sounds like a whole lot of work to go through to launch a game with one set of features and writing to insert a parallel setup. How would it play out? Well, they
just added in later.
If you do a patch or an update, you just introduce a few characters in that patch.
It's called cut content.
And actually, there's I think we talked about it in the video you're going to see in the next day or so from that gameplays, but there's an actual color palette insert that they call, what is it?
That gameplays.
Stop it. I can't remember what it's called, but what it does is it inserts the blue and the pink and the white colors of the what flag?
The transmission flag.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's
pastel mode.
No,
they call that, was it bubblegum mode or something?
Yeah. That's it. Bubblegum. Yeah, it's bubblegum. Well done, dude.
Yeah. It was in the article that talked about that.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean,
what they do is they develop the content, they cut it out, and what they do is they add it back in using a patch. It's just cut content,
which is what they told the developers that they were going to do.
Yeah.
And Grum's tried to excuse it away by saying they tell them that they're going to put it in via a patch so that they keep their devs from rioting.
Mm.
And to me, I'm thinking, dude, they may do that for that reason at that time, but it won't stop them from destroying their company later, because there's going to be some woke idiot that's going to be like, how come we didn't put in these patches you said we're going to put in? I'm going to tell everybody. You
So
know,
who is the them if the developers are different than the them? 'Cause
No,
wouldn't it be
the them is the develop. It's
devs
the
that are
activist
doing it?
developers. Yeah.
yeah, the uppers told the developers we need to pull that out. So they have QAS actually looking for that woke garbage sauce and just like letting them know, okay, that slipped through. Okay,
What does QAS stand for?
that's the quality
Quality.
insurance guys. Yeah, they're the quality assurance.
I thought that
Team.
was called QA.
Yeah, but they call them QA. What do you want from me? I'm just saying what they said.
I
you know?
just want to make sure that I understand
Yeah,
the terminology, right?
yeah,
I want to make sure we're all on the same
Understand the
page.
quaz.
yeah. No, it probably stands for quality and like sucking me off or something. I don't know, but what it does do
Wow.
is it. I got
You've-
Nick to go off
Quality
that.
You
and
have
sucking
actually
bullshit off.
taken clarity out of this for me now. So you're saying that the uppers, the people who run the business,
the management.
told
Yeah.
the developers no,
No,
and
they
you're
said
thinking the developers are just going to go do
They-
it anyway?
no. They told the devs we're going to pull this out for now and we'll add it back in a patch. And they're making sure at the quality level and testing level that that nothing slips through because they want to release what we would consider a clean game.
Yes.
Then
So
why would they
without-
have quality control people at all?
because
If
you
the whole
have to-
point is to
you-
get it in there, then why would you have quality control people saying, okay, we need to remove this?
Okay, so in software development, you have something called QA, which basically goes and tests things to make sure things work. So they have a certain guidelines of which to go check for things, right? That's essentially what
have you heard of
what they do.
playtesters?
Yeah.
play testing is
Yeah.
part of that.
Yeah, playtesters are usually like level 3 down the rung of the ladder. But yeah, so like you have all the people looking for, okay, we have a frame rate dip. Does this happen? All this stuff, right? And they have all the tools on the screen, right? They have an entire dev kit up while they're playing through something, right? And these people praise them because they watch or play something like 7,000 times.
When they're done,
I'm
they
sure.
probably
I
fucking
guess-
hate the game.
Yeah,
I guess I
they-
just misunderstood you and was unclear because I'm confused
Because
I
the
thought you
stuff is
said that
already in
the
the game.
uppers asked the QA team
to help
to
strip it out.
find the things to strip out.
Yeah.
So yeah,
They're
so
doing that.
the quality control.
But there are things that you can miss because, as we just pointed out, you probably played this game 7,000 times and you're likely on the verge of hating it.
But it sounds like you're saying they were asking quality control to edit the content
No,
out
they're
that
No.
needs
just
to be
making-
taken out
Catching it.
They
because
just
of
flag
what it
it.
is, not because of bugs or something.
No, what they do is they end up flagging it and the developers go and remove it.
Like sometimes you will hear like dialogue issues, like as a QA person.
Yeah.
You know, and like things won't line up. Like the dialogue and the mouth movements and stuff, that won't happen. Like,
Yeah.
do you remember what's the famous bug that was in Half-Life? Where
Oh, fuck if I know. I never played Half-Life.
the dialogue and the guy's mouths were
Lip
not
syncing.
working. Yeah, it was not good. It was very, very bad.
All right. Roll the red chip for $20. I wax because I am in hiding. I am the famous criminal hairless dick prophet. Tox sent me DMs today running down his week, and I was like, where is the punchline? Then he told me, and my boy, fuck you for a great Spider-Man Sunday.
Yeah.
Peter Shea is helicopter worth $2. Everyone is trans going forward, except it's accepted folks. Yeah, that's basically what she said.
I don't like the dystopia you live in, Pinochet. I will fight against it. Don't make me fight against you.
Yeah, the future isn't here. You must embrace it. Evil is here. You must embrace it. That's what it kind of sounds like to me. And Blazing64 says, what about sex with OJ's ex-tox?
Wait a minute. Nicole Brown Simpson?
Yeah.
No, she's dead. I don't do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Even I have my limits.
Indeed.
Well, back when she
Davina
was
Duckworth
alive.
says Sadie Sweeney is not fat. No, she is not.
No, dude, we were
The only place she's
freaking
fat is
out.
where we like her to be fat.
Yep.
Yeah, and
the
Southeastern Kaiju says the right thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I don't understand why people were freaking out about the photo.
Yeah, I'm like, y'all are crazy. Like we all went on like the full offensive. What happened?
I don't know if Tox must have hit a button.
For what?
I don't know. Here.
I didn't see anything happen.
Anyway,
it's happening on the editor side.
Yeah.
Oh,
So anyway, so I'm going to say this. We were rightfully angered by the dumbness because there was a lot of dumbness with that. I'm like, okay, Manosphere folks, you need to chill.
Is that who was complaining? Was it the Manosphere people?
I don't know. Or just some crazy trolls. I don't care. It's just, that's dumb. You know what?
No, I've seen the Manosphere people have been going crazy about the amount of coverage from the religious side about the chick who slept with 100 guys because she cried afterwards.
Oh, well,
and a few people were like, maybe because her soul's gone.
Yeah.
And the Manosphere, when she then announced, which she had already announced, that she was going to try for 1,000 in one day.
Yeah.
The Manosphere guys like Rolo were like, see, told you, she's not repentant. We never said she was. We said she lost her soul.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
she
the funny thing about it
in
was,
the eyes after the 100 guys
was the article that came out basically condemning the men and not her. And it's like,
they should all be arrested because they partook in this. And it's like, yeah, she literally advertised it and asked for 100 guys to come over and bang her. She's the one making the money off of it.
Yeah. You also know who her manager is, right?
Her boyfriend?
No, her mom.
Her mom?
Her mom.
Wow. Yeah, so anytime anyone tells you what goes on with the mom and daughter and Landman is not accurate, what just happened in real life?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about it is woman makes poor decision. Men must be held accountable for it.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck, dude?
And actually, there was a story released today that, a mother and daughter were partaking, like not step, mother and daughter were partaking in the same OnlyFans stream.
That doesn't surprise me one bit.
Not-
This is
not
the
the
day and
slightest.
age of the mother treating their daughter like their friend and not their daughter.
Yep.
It's a new level of depravity.
Elon, can I be on like one of the first like trips to like Moon, Mars?
Dude, this kind of stuff was commonplace in Rome and throughout that entire world part. During that time.
I was gonna make a comment. It's a lot more common than you probably realize.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how about we advanced? Maybe.
No, we didn't.
No, I'm talking about even in today's day and age.
Yes.
Yeah.
None of that morality stuff.
I have stories, culture, which I will not share online.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is that medically safe for women to do that many in one day without totally collapsing?
I'm sure she had an OBGYN present to reinsert her vagina after every.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, it's like that poor woman, her vagina must be wrecked after that day. It's
like it wasn't wrecked before.
Well, I mean, it's dead. If it wasn't wrecked before, it's definitely wrecked now. Talks. I mean, and then she wants to go to 1,000. It's like, good
that's nuts.
fucking God.
It's nuts. It's crazy.
No, it's not nuts. It's my vagina has a first name. It's VAGINA. My vagina has
You have a vagina?
name. It's WRECKD.
Yeah, I think it's basically been fucking pounded into roast beef. Jesus Christ.
Why go to Arby's when you can go to her?
Lindsay just released a term that I never wanted to see. Vaginal prolapse is a thing.
Yes, it is.
Really?
It is.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so real quick, James Bailey says, Comics and Crew, what would you rather watch, Craven or Dexter Origins Original Sin?
Craven.
I haven't seen Original Sin, so I have no idea.
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming they're both bad.
James,
given the choice, I'm not going to watch a series over just sacrificing like 2 hours.
2 hours of time.
And look, at least Craven tried a little bit, kind of, sort of.
Not what I have heard, but okay.
Well, I mean, outside of the CGI, the Rhino was
Mecha J. Oh my God, the vag.
hysterically funny.
Rob, it's like
Where
where
was
was Badge Guard?
That's a good question.
I remember that one. That's an old school Dick's Division
Yeah,
term. The
yeah,
Vag
yeah.
Guard. We got to make the Vag Guard great again.
I feel like there isn't enough douche on the planet that could solve that problem.
Yeah.
We need more vinegar, more water. Got to get through this. Well, you know what? At least she's got an advertising deal with Arby's roast beef sandwiches now. That's it. She's just, in fact, they're just taking pictures of her crotch to use on all the menus.
We have the meats.
Yeah, and with a hint of rose hips. Thank you.
She gets on and says, "I'll give you all the lip you want."
Oh,
nothing but lip. Lady, I can't.
Bell, you've been oddly silent during this whole thing.
Yes.
As a woman, I want your take on this.
That's right.
I legitimately do. I'm curious what your thoughts about this chick banging 100 dudes.
Y'all want to know what it was like after you had 100 guys?
Oh
wow!
Well, it makes me sick. I mean, I think of other girls that look up to watch this. Oh, this is an easy way to make money. Not about the consequences and stuff that could happen to them physically and mentally, and just
well,
I don't know. I just can't imagine that. And in your soul, I mean, your soul, and you're sharing with somebody your most personal part of your being.
To them, it's not. It's the most public part of their being.
Yeah, I know.
Well, and the one thing the lady did kind of hit on, which I kind of agree, it's like, yeah, these dudes should be shamed. I mean, the idea that these idiots went and answered an advert saying, let's go bang this chick, 100 dudes. I mean, where's okay? Let alone her self-respect. Where's your fucking self-respect? Okay,
yeah,
to be
I'm not
involved
saying
with all
that
this.
either side is.
Yeah,
but
you know AIDS is sexually transmitted.
Yeah.
Well, yes. Well, it only takes one STD to get spreading on that
Pretty sure
day.
the AIDS one was a meme, but I'm pretty sure she probably also got about 20 STDs that day.
Yeah.
Well, she wore protection, or they wore protection, but you never know.
All it takes is
Not
one
really saying much.
It's not.
What's all this rubber smell? Oh, it burnt.
They may have worn protection for parts of it, but I mean, she was saying that, yeah, if they wanted me to take it in the mouth, sure. If they wanted me to swallow or spit, sure.
I didn't realize
there's not much rubber involved in that.
I didn't realize that she was doing that too. Wow.
She ended up with 2 thingy majiggies, which are not great.
Oh,
you STDs?
Cold sores?
No, I don't know about that, but about, a little bit of the B.
She's going to need penicillin for.
Yeah, she's going to need. She's walking around with hips full of penicillin.
Also, after about the 10th guy, it looked like there was Arby's sauce mixed with horsey sauce on that roast beef.
Wow.
Okay, I don't want to talk about almost any of that.
All right. Well, we're gonna jump back to super chats because we got some.
Please.
Yeah. Did I also get this one? Also, RIP Legal Voice of
Legal Vices.
Yeah, Legal Vices of YouTube. Maritime lawyer. I didn't know he's a maritime lawyer. Southeastern Kaiju for $1. It says Lily apparently didn't know she could catch AIDS/STD by doing things via the mouth. Okay, I think she's
that one
a
I could find
future
more believable.
Darwin Award nominee. Probably can get her own category. Yeah.
Well, and that's the other thing. The morning of, they didn't have enough guys for her to hit 100, so she just she mass texted people and said, "Yeah, if you've got friends, just bring them along." So it's not like there was screening going on.
That's
which
fucking
is dangerous.
At least in the actual porn industry, they test them constantly.
Yeah.
OF, different
Well,
world.
the good thing is the Kepler Observatory found a new black hole, and they named it Lily.
Oh, boy.
What?
Okay.
My jokes go deeper.
Harry for $2. You guys forgot about the Houston 500 gangbang. I've never heard of it.
Forget about it.
Well,
there was a chick who did 500.
Large capacity for history of pornography knowledge stored in my brain.
All right. Pinochet's helicopter tours for $2 says she prioritized tested people, but resorted to none.
Yeah, that kind
Wow.
of defeats the purpose of it.
That was
in
fucking
general
stupid.
Yeah, I look. I mean, hi. Yes, that's
Talking about screwing until your dick falls off. It's Culture Casino, ladies and gentlemen.
I will say this: I have been abused here and on the internet this evening, including on Twitter.
Spoilers,
Is the internet?
I released 3 videos today.
3 videos.
And
speaking of gangbangs, that's a gangbang of videos.
Yeah, it is. And we've got on tomorrow's my day of live streaming. I've got the 6-minute daily, followed by Morning Magic on that Park Place, followed by WDW Pro Live, followed by That Game Place Live, followed by the H Cast. And I followed.
Sorry,
by
did you say AIDS Cast?
H.
Oh, okay.
You know what? Mr. H Reviews hit 400,000 subscribers. Are you sure you want to throw down? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, no. Oh, why? Because I made a fucking joke?
No. Just because he.
You know what all those shows have in common?
It legit sound like you said AIDS Cast.
There's a bearded asshole on all of them.
I'm gonna go.
What?
Oh,
my mic was on. Damn it!
I'm gonna go.
You gotta watch Culture's videos; they're really good. Especially
how would you know?
It's true. I haven't seen a video of yours in 3 years.
I know that.
Well, 6-minute dailies are pretty good. They're typically not 6 minutes.
Culture makes videos.
I ran over an hour. Oh well, today wasn't quite an hour, but on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I get to talk longer.
Today's video day.
On Tuesday, Thursday, I have to do short 6-minute dailies. They have to be closer to 6 minutes because there's all those live streams.
Because he has to do stuff.
Hey, speaking of which, a week from tomorrow, we'll be doing the right before Christmas watch party.
Yeah, we will.
So there's that.
We need to pick a movie for that.
Yeah. And TP USA, Amerifest. I don't know.
You can do
Is Amfest?
Amfest. Yes. I will be there as press starting Thursday.
What?
So I will be doing live streams and interviews, and I will talk to Danica Patrick and make fun of Brahma and his daughter, and it'll be a good time.
How about you get me some hookups for the Sunday morning show?
I will.
Give him a pass. Give him some bulls.
Wait. So you want him to take you to TPUSA and have you hook up? What did we just talk about?
Yeah.
No, I don't want him to take me.
You want
I said
Arby's
I
really
absolutely cannot go.
No.
So I need him to hook me up with some of the people that are going to be there for my Sunday morning political show as guests.
Oh, I got it.
So do you want Danica Patrick?
No, I need actual political people.
Oh, okay. So not good people. I'm kidding.
You want Charlie Kirk.
You want Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, give me Charlie.
Kirk. Okay, I will try to talk to Charlie. But look, I actually have somebody who was injured by the pokey poke, then got pushed out of the military because of it. That I'll be interviewing.
You're talking about Drew?
I'm talking about Drew.
Yeah, Drew's a good dude. Glad Drew's able to walk again.
Is he really?
He's actually the one who's organizing all the interviews, isn't he?
Yeah,
he got the press passes. He's organizing the interviews. He's doing all the work.
Yeah, so we're gonna get that done. It looks like the guy that whose booth I'll be behind is
there it is
not going to be at the booth because he is the vid. So
Adam's not going.
It'll be me. It looks like it's going to be me and a cavalcade of amazing. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Oh crap! It jumped. I want to get this. This is kind of funny. Does TPUSA mean toilet paper?
No.
Turning Point. Turning Point USA.
Proper Viva culture. Viva.
So
dude, Viva Fry? Yeah, dude, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, I already met and hung out with Barnes before, so maybe I can, if one or other or both are there.
He was at the Vegas meetup.
He was at Vegas
2021.
That's
right.
I
talked to him at the meetup. It was awesome. He was at the second night.
Yeah. And I'm gonna, you know what? I'll work on getting Ron Coleman for you too, because I'm gonna be having him on one of my shows here. So, yeah. Anyway,
apparently Candace Owens has been named Anti-Semite of the Year.
And she's happy about it.
I was gonna say, she's probably astonished about it.
She actually
I thought the honor belonged to fucking what's his name?
Nick
Why am I the
Fuentes?
only person on the screen right now?
Because this is your outro.
This is your outro, man. You
There's actually a poll going.
The last 15 minutes have been your outro.
Vote in a poll. Vote in a poll. And unfortunately, we've already gone past 5 or 10 minutes, so you people are lost. So the rest of you, it's 15 or 20 plus. Those are your options for how long this outro is going to look.
They do this on purpose, guys. They get me on here and then ask questions and stuff.
Well, Culture, you're wrong about Brett Cooper, too.
That is true.
I would love to hear why.
What I don't know what the stance is.
I don't know what Culture's stance was on Brett Cooper.
Well, they're just, first of all, that Reagan girl was the maid of honor, and she took and deleted all the photos of Reagan off her Instagram completely.
I know.
And the mother attacked Reagan. Brett Cooper's mother.
Yes, she did. No, she agreed with one of the postings or liked it or something. I think that's what.
Anyway, I wasn't talking about Nick Fuentes. It was Kanye.
I just let me out of here. I'm going to go.
Was 2 years ago now.
I know.
So.
Yep.
Somebody punched me out. Long? Somebody punched me out so Tom can come in here.
I don't know.
Why are we going to talk Acolyte?
No, you're going to talk about Landman, I hope.
Oh, here it is.
See you guys.
Later,
It's a weave.
It definitely is.
Yep.
Definitely a weave. And
which makes me wonder why he's going to actually make hair products.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of funny. Yeah, it is what it is. All right, let's talk about Landman.
The man buys his hair.
The man buys his hair. Yeah, that would be a good one.
The man likes eating at Arby's.
Who doesn't like eating Arby's?
His mangina looks like a roast beef sandwich.
Anyway.
When she gets hysterical, you smack her across the face and then go to Arby's.
Have yourself some potato eggs.
Actually, I have a few starred comments I wanted to get to real quick. I don't know why 70s is finally showing up, but whatever.
Nicholas Horton, none of that stuff is going to happen. Just saying.
Nivre Plutarch for 10 months says seeing the camera guy retch when he walked into the bedroom perfectly encapsulates the entire situation. Wow, I had no idea that even happened.
The smell coming out of there had to have been disgusting with that many loads being dropped.
Sandy Monkey says, whatever happened to Debbie Does Dallas? I'm pretty sure you can still find
actually do all of Dallas. This girl tried.
Dallas Does Debbie.
I was going to make a VHS joke. It just got ruined.
Sorry.
Whatever happened to Debbie Does Dallas? Well, you can still find it on VHS. Anyway. Pino Shay's Helicopter Tour says, Constitution, have you seen the documentary? No, I haven't. I am aware that it exists. I question whether I actually want to watch it. She's going to need years of therapy, multiple levels of broken. And I'm not surprised. I think that was something that was really fucking stupid. And I'm pretty sure she, at the end of the day, felt like a used, broken piece of meat. But that's her fault.
Well, I don't think so, because she's going through with the 1,000.
Yeah.
She has put out a casting call for the 1,000 now.
I thought that was before.
She had already done it, but she has reiterated it. Going for the record, because the world record or the Guinness record is like 918 in a day.
I think her mom's making that happen.
Probably.
And she may have following through with it. She's not following through with it.
She might have been faking the whole sympathy thing to get more people to come along.
I think it was all marketing.
It's probably publicity. Yeah.
And every time it got retweeted, she got more free advertising.
WG coming in hot with the big 50, literally paying you to have a Merry Christmas.
That's very nice. You know what? We're going to play this for you, WG.
No, we're not. Speaking of roast beef,
we're safe.
And Cavatino makes a good point. she's working on a build up to the 1,000. So she
is.
said she did like 300. So she's trying to get, built up to that before she goes for the 1,000. So by the time she does 1,000 guys on one day, she'll probably already be at like 10 or 15,000 that she's been screwing.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Are these guys taking any kind of precautions, like condoms?
Besides protection?
not.
That's it.
No, they're all Democrats.
not.
They don't wear anything. That's what abortions are for.
Indeed.
Come on.
Also, real quick from WG for $10 says, "Oh, and this is for Tox. Wishing you a happy Kwanzaa." Kwanzaa.
Hey, if there was ever anybody that was going to celebrate Kwanzaa, it's me and Nancy Pelosi, who fell and broke her hip. So I'm very sorry
In a foreign country.
for whatever she fell on.
Yeah.
Very sorry.
Well, I think the big thing is that it just goes to show you that we need younger people in office. That's what that proves.
Yes, because Mitch McConnell also broke again last week.
His brain,
It's
or
not just Nancy
his hip?
Pelosi. Well, he had a fall. Then he had his head wrapped with a bandage all the way around his head. They put him back up in front of the camera, and he did his freezing thing again, where he just stands there and stares.
Yeah, and like I said, this is proof as to why we need younger.
Both sides problem.
Yeah. Oh, I completely agree.
Get the boomers the hell out.
Yeah, we've been making fun of Mitch McConnell for years at this point. Rightfully so, because the dude's a fucking idiot. WG also gifted 5 Comics Division memberships. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Before you go on, right there. I starred that one.
Okay.
Tina Guzman.
Yeah. Celebrating 14 months as a member.
14 months. Thank you very much. That's very nice. She's working on her second child. Thank you very much.
Oh, really? Congratulations.
Oh, no. You keep saying 9 months. That's a baby. Thinking it's funny. Yeah.
I'm sorry. That fucking joke, I've forgotten about at this point.
Good. Because similar to Lily and her sexcapades, that joke needs to go into the attic.
Indeed. All right. Landman, episode 6. Or season
getting
6.
free tacos.
Because I'm fucking retarded and I said that earlier. Yeah. Braun, would you like to kick things off?
I thought it was another pretty good episode. Tox mentioned it backstage, and I mentioned it. The Taylor Sheridan shows are good shows, but they ultimately are just male-based soap operas.
Yes,
at
they
this
are.
Point.
They really are.
And I'm fine with that.
And yeah, I'm totally here for it.
I like the character work that they're doing with everybody. This episode was a little bit more violent, not the stuff that's happening in the fields and stuff, but yeah, we got a little bit of retribution this week. I was there for it. It was good.
Yeah, it was. The other thing that happened is that when Angela went to go break it off with her ex soon to be ex-husband,
went to go break it off.
Well,
she doing it on her guys too?
Yeah, when she went to go break it off, the locks were changed. The doors were answered by lawyers, and they basically said, "Yeah, we know you committed infidelity. You basically don't get any money, and the only thing she cared about was her Bentley. So her shit was packed up, sent off, and she got her car."
Dumb for signing the paperwork that quickly, because if there was an infidelity clause in there, she walks right into the next room and meets the new girlfriend from the dude.
Yeah.
In the next scene after she signs the divorce paperwork. I'm not sure how that would have worked out, what the actual prenup said, but I mean,
no, she's kind of a ditz anyways.
Yeah, she's not the smartest woman, and she's
so don't expect her to think
very driven
logic.
by her emotions.
And it shows. I mean,
yeah.
I'd say outside of this episode, I mean, and this is once again, this is not one of those things where it's fair, but it's more tolerable. She's honestly, for me personally, she's been the worst part of the show by far and large.
Really, I love her character.
I think she's great.
I think Ollie. I don't think it's Ollie Larder, the actress, but I think the material she's been given. But I'd say in this episode definitely did her character justice better.
Well,
The lawyer. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say there's a few things that Tom predicted that were correct. We did have a holdout, which was I was completely expecting it to be the younger girl. And
But the
funny
holdout was
thing-
for a different reason.
Holdout was for a different reason.
She brings it up that she's questioning it, but she ends up not signing because of different reasons.
Yeah, and ultimately, how she finds out what happened to Cooper was that she goes to call Cooper because she's
Ariana.
Yeah, Ariana's been relying on him for advice, and so she calls Cooper. And I have to say, they had a good setup at the very beginning when the cops are going, and you kind of think Cooper's dead because they have like you see the blood stains, and there's like the measurement stuff that they're taking photos of, and you're like, is he alive or dead? So I felt they did a really good job of
looked like a
making you
murder
buy
crime
in.
scene,
Exactly,
not a got
assault.
Assaulted.
Yeah. So that was really well done, and so that's how she finds out what happened to Cooper, and ultimately she's like, "Yeah, I know who did it," and she's like, "I will. You can interview me," or she says, "Who did it?" Which is the cousin, and he's like, "Well, you need to give a statement." He's like, "Well, you can. I'll give a statement, at the hospispital."
Tell me where the hospital
tell me
is,
where the
and
hospital
you can come
is.
down there and get a statement from me. Yeah.
So ultimately, you have the shit where they're going to Dallas so he can go and meet with
John Hamm.
Yeah, John Hamm's character. And that whole situation is getting kind of interesting as well. I have to say, Demi Moore, I don't recognize her.
A lot of work done.
Yeah. And she's actually really good in this, even though she's playing very much a bit part. I think she's doing a fantastic job as well. But yeah, so you have that going on. You have the whole thing with Angela and her ex-husband, or soon-to-be ex-husband. I guess they're technically divorced now, since she signed the paperwork. And then it's funny because Angela calls Tommy. Tommy at this point has found out what has happened to Cooper. Is flying back, not flying, but driving really fast back to Midland to see his son, and he hangs up on her, and she gets really pissed about it.
Freaking fit.
She throws a fit because he's talking to. Was he talking to the sheriff at that time?
Yeah, he was talking to the sheriff. Yeah, he had a lot of calls. He did the sheriff.
Nathan had called and interrupted the meeting with John Hamm because Tommy's phone was still in the car, and the sheriff had tried to call him 12 times. So John Hamm's character, which I for the life of me, I can't remember his name either, because I don't know that it's even been mentioned.
Monty.
I mean, I'm sure it has.
It's been mentioned multiple times. He's Monty.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Monty, so Nathan, the older guy that is the lawyer that lives with Tommy, calls Monty, and Monty's like, why the hell is Nathan calling me?
Yeah.
And then Tommy realizes his phone is in the car, so he talks to him, finds out what's going on. Then he tries to call, as he's getting into his car, he tries to call the sheriff. The sheriff doesn't answer. She calls hysterical because, in her world, she just got blown up because she just got divorced, rather than being able to tell him that she wanted a divorce. And so he hangs up on her after trying to make it clear that there's something bigger going on, and she just doesn't take the hint.
Yeah.
Then she calls right back and throws a fit. You hung up on me. I'm going to forgive it this once. That kind of thing. Then he breaks the news, and she says she's going to get calm before they get to the hospital. And then walks in completely hysterical.
Yeah, she said, "I'm gonna wait a half hour for you. I'm gonna wait for you. You're a half hour away."
Well, apparently
I gotta be strong for her son, and then reality sinks in.
Yeah,
she
must
stood on the gas pedal.
Yeah, she must have been going like well over 100 miles an hour to get there, because that shit was pretty fucking crazy. Because she was like sitting there for a while too before she called Tommy to find out how far out.
She was preparing for a missing leg, not to have his face all busted in.
Yeah. But we find out what happened is that he got beat so bad that he had some broken ribs and a collapsed lung, which is why he was in surgery, to reinflate his lung.
Which is kind of funny because the final episode of Yellowstone, Beth gets beat up so bad she has a collapsed lung and ends up in the hospital. So another mirroring from Yellowstone. I mean, the guy likes to use kind of some of the same stuff.
He has his tropes.
Yeah,
he does.
He has his tropes. So I guess that means I'll appreciate Landman even more, considering that I've never even watched Yellowstone.
Yeah, same here.
You still should watch Yellowstone.
I know people
are down on the series finale, but it's not as bad as everybody's trying to make it out to be, especially Jack Posobiec. It didn't go woke.
Yeah, he's the one who also said that Tulsa King. I like what he says politically, and he's not as insufferable as Matt Walsh is when it comes to pop culture. But when he called Tulsa King woke, I just knew, okay, I'm not listening.
Called it woke? I mean,
I've trying to say that Tulsa King is woke and Yellowstone went woke and that Taylor Sheridan is just another wokey. And it's like, no.
I'm not
It's
listening
not
to
woke.
him
I mean, like Yellowstone, the whole idea for the finale was that the land stays the land. It doesn't get developed into, condos and apartments and subdivisions. The land gets set aside forever to be the land that it was that they discovered, and basically just they grazed the herd on it. But other than that, it's untouched. So
and that's probably
it's
fine.
Not
but
woke.
With Posobiec, he's just
I think the reason why they're saying it's woke is. Go ahead, Nick.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say he's just another guy on that side who, once again, makes people on this side's argument look bad because he just jumps the gun on this woke thing, and it just neuters and makes the argument weaker when you call things that aren't such as that. And
right,
how are we gonna have strength when we can just do that? It eventually circles down to when everything is woke, nothing is, and we need guys like him of all people should be better about picking that stuff up rather than just.
That's one of the issues, Nick, is that when people start calling things that aren't woke, it dilutes the meaning, which is basically what they've been doing, calling everything racist.
Yeah, and now we're
the last thing that Sheridan is woke.
Yeah,
no, not at all.
Look at the lines from Landman about the green movement and everything else. He's obviously not woke. He may not be. He may not be on the right. I don't know, but it's not woke.
No, it's definitely not.
I get the idea why they would say that. When you find out, they gave all the land back to the Native Americans. It's like, okay. I mean, without context, yeah, sure, it can kind of come off
for Yellowstone finale as well, I guess.
Sorry, I've never seen the show.
But that was what was in the contract, was the land reverts to what the land originally was, except for the cemetery. And the scene that he is throwing a fit about is they start knocking down the gravestones, and he apparently either is being dishonest and didn't watch enough of it or just watch that scene. One of the elders of the Indians comes over and says, no, put those back the way they were. The gravestones stay there because these are the people that gave their lives protecting this land to keep it as pristine as it is. So it was not, we just gave it back to the Indians. They tore down the house and kicked over all the gravestones. It was directly addressed that the teenage Indian kids were told, no, that's not okay. This is
Thank you
sacred
for clarifying
land.
that, Brahma. I'm glad you clarified because that's something that's, once again, I guess you could say people on this corner, they left that detail out, and I hate when that's happened because it once again, it makes people on this side look like they're starting to do, once again, things that the far left does. They'll leave out important details just to make their argument look good. And I don't like that. Like, once again, if something has context with that is important, we need to air that out rather than just have something to hate on just to hate on. And once again, it makes the arguments of us wanting things to be good again when we try to keep things bad. Just to
moral
keep us
police. The moral police are on both sides.
Yeah, they are.
No
okay.
shit.
And we're just coming back. The stuff that I'm seeing in these people that we're talking about freedom and liberty, and we need to be able to say this, do all that stuff now, I am starting to see them slip into their authoritarian moral police ways, just like they did in the 80s, just like they did in some of the 90s.
Yeah.
It's like they did in the 50s, All right. And then when we had prohibition and all the other stuff, it's the same thing.
At the end of the day, we don't need purity tests, right? On either side. That's the issue. Purity tests are bad. No duh, right? It's bad when the left does it. It's bad when the right does it. Nobody should be doing it. And end of story, right? I don't, and a lot of us have said this. We don't want the right to pick up where the left off on when it comes to the moral authoritarianism, or pushing agendas into entertainment. I think it's good to have commentary. Social commentary is fine, but it has to be not just one sided.
Well, and my problem with this was don't cut the thing out of context to make it try to make your point. I hate it when the left does it. Posobiec should not have done it.
Yes,
and
agreed.
And Chad made a comment in the chat about it's still a bad visual to put out. I think the visual, the whole thing was, yes, the land's going to be saved, but the way the teenage Indians are pushing over the gravestones, I think that's to show that, what's the best wording for it? It doesn't matter. Sooner or later in the end, everybody's getting corrupted. So the teenagers do not have the same respect for it that the adults and the elders of the Indians did. I mean, I think it was literally showing, I think it was Taylor Sheridan trying to show that we are not raising our kids to respect the things that we respected.
Right.
Or, he could just be showing that the Earth's been around for a long damn time. And there have been millions of people that have traced across those lands, right? And have been
that was the
buried
point,
across
is keeping the
whole
land pristine.
Right. But what I'm saying is the grave markers, that all crumbles away.
Yep.
Like 2 to 3 minutes, Sean Green.
Yeah.
Sean doesn't want to be spoiled for this one. So 2 to 3 minutes, Sean, and we'll go back to Landman.
Or just go watch something.
Yeah, I'll probably wait till the Landman season 1 finishes before I even consider watching Yellowstone. But that is good to know that the show doesn't have this polarizing ending that's being blown out of proportion. The last thing you want to do is have people who say, "Oh, they're grifters and they need this stuff to be bad, so they can keep those arguments going." Well, your argument diffuses that of all.
Well, the whole point of the show was trying to keep the undeveloped land as pristine as possible.
Right.
Whether it be as a ranch or as, wilderness land. The thing with giving it to the Indians was they cannot develop it. It's in the contract that they sold it for. They cannot develop it at any point. That's why they also took off the development that was already on there, which was the house and all the stuff, is because it's supposed to be pristine wilderness land. You're not allowed to do anything but ride a horse or your own 2 feet. You can't ride a motorized bike. You can't ride, ATVs. It's basically being set aside as
no herding. No.
Well, it's not a ranch anymore. It got sold to the reservation, so it is just wilderness because the agreements that we have with the Indians, they aren't allowed to sell any land that they've accumulated either. So it can't be sold to a developer. The point was Taylor Sheridan, from what I can tell from Yellowstone, was trying to show that there is a thing where, we don't have respect for the way things were done. We don't keep things in pristine conditions. We don't respect that. I mean, it is actual conservatism of the land.
Yeah.
That's what he was going for there. Because in other episodes towards the end there, he's talking about the guy who still makes cowboy accessories by hand rather than it being mass produced, like spurs and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a lost art. The whole idea of cowboying is going away in the country because we just don't do it the same way.
Yeah.
And Taylor Sheridan owns the 4.6s. I mean, he does the actual cowboying. He's in the show. He's the one doing the actual stunt riding on the horses. I mean, the guy kind of knows what he's talking about on that kind of stuff. But I think what he's trying to get at is we can't lose these things that made us kind of who we are, the Wild West.
Well, that's exactly what we talked about the whole thing with gardening and how our grandparents used to preserve food and all these other things, and how a lot of these things that used to be a way of life are now a lost art. And these are things that everybody really should know how to do and kind of, basically kind of keep up with it. Just so that knowledge doesn't get lost, but also from a survival standpoint of something bad happens, an emergency situation, a civil conflict and strife, a war, whatever. I mean, just look at the rationing that happened during World War II. There's a reason why we really should be having full pantries and stocking up on stuff. Anyway, back to
being
Landman.
able to speed run Witcher 3 isn't going to help me in an apocalypse?
Probably not.
It will,
but it would be fun. It will definitely keep your mind off of it. But yeah, I mean,
just
it's
depends on how good you are at speed running, because you die the one time and it's over.
See, the problem is I'm going to have to redraw each scene by hand on the side of the house because there's no power.
Yeah.
So it's going to take longer.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, back to Landman. So what ends up happening, they talk to Cooper. Of course, Angela freaks out. She takes a Xanax, eventually calms down and is able to go and see Cooper. But I mean,
I love the non-drug theme of this show.
Yeah.
But there's more going on in the hospital before we get there.
Oh yeah,
so
we didn't talk about the sister.
Sees Ariana breast pumping.
Yep.
So obviously we're going to see something coming there, because everybody automatically has assumed that Ariana is the girlfriend.
That's a good point. She only pumps one.
Tommy is saying that he's got to get Cooper out of here because he's going to get killed. So
he says he's not mean enough for the patch.
Yeah, that he can't survive this lifestyle. But the sister now is the only one who has seen her doing the pumping. Mm-hmm. So she knows that she has a baby, and you could see it in the scene. Obviously, she's going to figure that Cooper is actually the father. Tommy knows that he isn't.
Tommy knows otherwise.
Tommy knows Ariana from her husband getting killed.
I don't know. He hasn't been there long enough to knock up a chick, though.
Right. Tommy knows that, but his sister doesn't.
She was living with the mother in another town.
Yeah, she's only been there for like a week.
That's true.
So she's going to assume that it's his, and that's where we're going to get some more of the drama coming from the next few weeks.
And he's going to get caught up in that contract and not realize that the contract is from his dad's company.
And it did kind of come out that most of the people at the patch did not know that that's Tommy's son.
Mm.
Yeah, just
because when he goes in to start beating the crap out of him, they don't seem to know that they just beat up Tommy's son.
Yeah,
because he announces it to them, and that's when it gets really ugly.
It gets pretty ugly, because the first thing was it
Manuel.
Okay. Let's try to remember if it was Manuel or another name, but he fucking nails him with a fucking pipe wrench, like right in the fucking head.
And there's a dent in his head.
There's a dent like right in the middle of his head. That is pretty nasty.
Pretty brutal.
And the dude that got his arm caught in the the pipe mechanism,
mm-hmm.
They drag him off into the back room, and I don't know what the fuck they did to him. Makes me think that there was some draping going on. But when you see him next, he has his shirt off and he's fucking crying, and you're like, what the hell happened here?
I don't think it was graping. I think it was they just did something pretty severe to him.
I mean, he looked fine. He didn't look like he had the shit kicked out of him.
I knew he got mollywopped. Once that ending happened, I'm like, he's gonna have a really bad beating, and close to death. And it was close to death.
Yeah,
they may have stuck a broom handle up him or something, but I don't think any of those dudes working. No,
I would count that as making drapes.
He was Don Drapered. He was Don Drapered.
Yeah. He was
forcibly assaulted.
Yeah, forcibly assaulted.
Tickled.
Handle. Yeah, I mean,
he had to write down all those names and sign his little confession too.
Yeah.
Well, and then he did it for the sheriff too.
Yeah, he like I said, he was crying, and he was crying for a reason. I'm not sure if I
I'm
want to know
sure
what
he
that
got
reason is.
violated.
Yeah.
Just I don't think it was any of them actually
Right.
using their member to do it.
Yes.
And kind of the thing is, a lot of people were like, well, why wouldn't they have just killed Manuel? Well, because you're also giving the sheriff a win. The sheriff's helping you out.
Mhm.
You're giving the sheriff a win because he's going to arrest this guy on all of these charges. And that will, keep everything kind of flowing smoothly there in the area. And the reason the sheriff's helping out is because, I mean, ultimately the whole economy depends on the patch.
Yep.
You cannot have all these companies having issues and pulling out of that area because of things going on. So the sheriff, as dirty as it looks, is going to be, cooperating with the corporation on that point.
And as much as Manuel got hit with a pipe wrench, I mean, he was fine for the most part.
Yeah, the weird part is that they decided to go actually torture the other guy and not Manuel, because he's the one who's kind of directly responsible for it, not the other dude. But I don't know.
Well, and maybe
sending a message because they had all the stuff on him as a felon on Manuel, so that they knew they could pressure him in other ways. And they didn't know what they had on the other guy.
Yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting because he basically names the rest of the people that beat the shit out of Cooper. Yeah. Yep. Should be interesting.
Which those were the maintenance crew for one of the other fields.
Yeah.
Yeah, that got rid of that because he was suspicious of them. I think Tommy was, and he says, "Well, that helps get rid of them."
Mm-hmm. Yep. Overall, another fantastic episode. I'm curious. I don't know about you guys, but it feels like it's going pretty fucking fast for me. I know it's only 10 episode season. I kind of feel like there's a lot that can happen. And I feel like we need another 10 episodes for the season.
Yeah, no, I know. I think that's done by design to get people to want a season 2. I think that's why. Because I feel what you're feeling, comics. I feel like there's a lot of ground that still needs to be conquered, halfway conquered. So, and I think that's absolutely was done intentionally, so they can say, "Hey, guys, make sure you watch the show and repeat view if you can." Because, like you, I feel like it's going fast. It doesn't help too that I didn't start watching until 2 weeks ago. I wasn't there since day one. So yeah, it feels that much faster to me because I caught on nearly halfway. Now here I'm like, oh crud, it's already halfway done. So yeah, but I can't wait to see how it's finished. I actually do feel optimistic about however it plays out. I'm feeling really optimistic about this show.
Yeah.
Well, even if he
go ahead.
Go ahead, Bill.
I was going to say, even if he gets his son out, I feel like his daughter, he doesn't know about his daughter being invited to the patch party. And I feel like she's the one that's going to wind up in trouble at the end. And not
she'll wind up pregnant by some rando.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The other thing too that I didn't mention, none of us mentioned, is that when Tommy's talking to Cooper in the hospital, he's like, take it slow with the girl,
right?
And he's like,
he's already had heartbreak that you can't understand.
Yeah,
and he's right. I mean, for her to go through that first episode, lose, the father of their shared daughter, yeah, that is insane. When you're in that type of situation, I don't want to imagine what that feels like. I can imagine it feels absolutely awful. That's a scary thought to even think about.
The thing with Cooper, though, is, I mean, he's pretty insistent that there's nothing going on, and there hasn't been anything going on. He actually did help her out of the kindness of his heart, which is kind of the problem for Tommy, is that he is too nice to be in this place.
And he didn't catch on to the first meeting either.
Right. And I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure if Cooper is actually trying to get with her at this point. I think they're trying to set. Well, I mean, because everybody's going to automatically assume that they're going to be, in a relationship now that Manuel's out of the way. But Tommy's going to send him away somehow. He's going to get him out of there. And I don't think it's going to play out the way that people might think, with it being a broken up relationship between them, because I think Cooper made it pretty clear not that he's not interested, but that it's not something that's happening.
Right. Well, I think a lot of it too is that Cooper's main motivation is guilt. You know, he feels
and she's on a rebound.
Yeah, for his crew being killed and him. It's survivor's guilt. This is classic survivor's guilt. He feels guilty, and therefore, I think in his own way feels responsible for her, which is the reason why he's helping her out, going out of his way and
doing yard work and chores.
Though
and
he probably is attracted to her, I don't think that's his main motivation. And could it?
It's atonement.
Turn into a relationship potentially. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, you're right. It's the atonement of the survivor's guilt. Because I don't think that would have crossed his mind, because when he was sitting here in that second episode, and she puts her head on his shoulder, you could see his physical discomfort. Yeah,
he looked very uneasy.
This was not going to work out well for him.
Yeah.
The thing with, so, I mean, the way they're leading us down is that they're going to try to get into a relationship. The thing that I see coming that is not going to be that is I don't think that will ever be a part of it. I think the drama from Cooper is going to come with him guiding her through the settlement.
Yeah.
And it'll be drama between Tommy and him, not a relationship drama.
Right.
Because everybody watching shows like these is always like, we got to ship these two characters. We got to have this romantic thing happen. I don't think that's what's going to happen here. I think it's going to be a fight between him and his dad, and a separation between him and his dad, because he's going to get her to sue the company. And that's going to be a major problem for Tommy.
Yep. This is one thing I was kind of wondering about too. So she likes him, but she doesn't know that he's gay. I don't know.
I don't think we've had any clues that he's gay. I think
we haven't had any clues on that. But that
obviously
did
gay.
If this were a show not by Taylor Sheridan, I'd entertain that angle. But this is Taylor Sheridan, and
Taylor's had plenty of gay characters.
Okay, but that doesn't seem like he would, pull the rug out from under us like that.
Well, what's the ultimate emasculation technique for someone like Tommy's character? Your son's gay and can't handle the patch. Ultimate ball cuts right there.
Yeah,
so I think that's the one thing I'm going to predict out of this show I'm not watching. That kid's gay. There you go.
All right. Is it like culture gay or just normal gay?
Nothing. Even
nobody's
culture couldn't
gay.
write a character that gay. Okay.
I just realized. Okay, we do have spoilers. I want to get this from Peter Show because this is a pretty interesting comment. Are the days of the 20+ episode seasons over?
Yeah.
I don't think that's such a bad thing. Like, a lot of people forget that shows like The Sopranos and Deadwood had around 10, 13 episodes, and those shows were already like 20 years ago, and they were hour-long episodes, and a lot of them benefit from it. But there's also shows where they have this amount of formula, and they could have benefited from being shorter. I mean, look no further than some of the Marvel Netflix shows. Some of those shows were 13 episodes.
They're poorly written
from being 9 or 10 episodes. So,
well, and part of that too, Nick, is what they've done is they've taken movies and turned them into TV shows, which is part of the issue. I kind of miss the 20 episode season because we got more episodes of television. Were there bottle episodes? Were they always good?
I missed the 48 episode season.
But it had 48 episodes.
What I miss is
every
seasons being the next year.
Every Perry Mason, they had 49 episodes and all that stuff next there, and you're talking about 60s, right? Yeah. So, but there were definite seasons. You had this, and then you had your off-season shows, you had your mid-season replacements, you had your summer replacements, and that kind of stuff. But you had a season, and you had to talk about it. You had to wait. Who shot JR? They sold a shit ton of merch in between the time that he got shot and he came back and it was a dream.
I think part of the issue that we're running into with a lot of how television is now is the 2 to 3 year gap between.
That's the problem.
That's
you make a 10 episode series or a 10 episode season, and then we completely have forgotten about whatever has happened in the year and a half to 2 years it takes to make the next season. I mean, say what you will about, say, NCIS and procedural type shows. They at least have a long season take their break, have the conclusion of the season, take the rest of the break, and the show starts at the exact same freaking time the next year.
Yep.
Everybody knows when NCIS is going to be on. If you're somebody who watches NCIS, you watch the Landman or you watch Yellowstone. Yellowstone this season got split in half. Nobody knew when the rest of it was coming out.
Yeah, that's
you watch the Landman. You don't know if there's going to be a season 2 in a year, 2 years. It's definitely not going to be at this time next year, because nothing on streaming is ever this time next year. It's always
they were smart. They
way too long of a break.
I think the closest thing we got to that was Cobra Kai, because for a few seasons there, when they hit Netflix from season 3 through, was it 6 or 3 through 5, they were able to keep them banging out. Boom, 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 boom. It was like no more than a year to a year and a half. Granted, they were half-hour episodes, but they were at least still able to keep it going. That still works to their advantage to keep the conversation going.
Krampus Jesus has your answer. Yeah, here's your answer. Just watch the episodes at half speed.
That's
fine.
My answer.
That's a good answer.
I mean,
no, it's not.
But like, look at Stranger Things.
Subtitles.
Does anybody still give a crap? I mean, how
I
many
would
years
watch
in
it.
between seasons is it?
I'll watch it when it comes out.
You'll watch it.
Last season, I'll watch.
You've basically got to rewatch the last season to remember what the hell is going on.
Become very difficult. Yeah.
One at a time.
First off, one at a time, and that's one of the things too that you just brought up. This is the problem. Well, one of the problems with Arcane season 2. First off, I couldn't remember what the fuck happened in season 1 because it was like 3 years ago.
Exactly.
And sometimes I don't have time to rewatch episodes of shows to prepare to watch another season. Right. That's kind of an issue. Shit, dude. Sometimes I forget what happened like a year ago. I mean, because, life happens, shit's going on, and you're like, oh, what happened? Oh, yeah. That's the reason why sometimes with TV shows, they would give a recap, especially when you ended on a cliffhanger.
Break.
Yeah. A significant break. Well, not just significant break, but I mean, best of both worlds. I'm trying to remember the episode of Star Trek where
all good things.
All good things.
No, it is best of both worlds, part 1 and 2. It's when he becomes a Borg.
Okay. Best of both worlds. Yeah.
Yeah. Where they basically give a recap. So you remember, okay, this is what happened last season, where we ended, because you ended on a cliffhanger and it's been a year and you're like, I need a quick reminder of what happened. Oh yeah, that's right. That's what happened, that episode and, the themes of the season and whatnot. That's why that shit's important, to remind you of what happened. I think it's kind of harder to do that when there's like a 3-year gap and you with like, Arcane or whatnot. But yeah, the 2 to 3 year gaps do not fucking help your series, and you will get the decline. Just look at Rings of Power. Again, it's a terrible TV show.
How can that decline? It was bad to start with. How could it decline?
That show's always going to have a decline. You could release the season 2 within a year of that finishing, it would decline. But I get your point now. Your point still rings true.
So these television shows are basically becoming books.
Yeah. You're waiting years in between them.
You're waiting years in between to get the books.
Yeah.
I mean, we just had the newest release in the Brandon Sanderson series, The Way of, that
just came out.
I
got that one. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm reading / listening to it. I've got the PDF and the Audible. So when I can read it, I'm reading it. When I can listen, I'm listening.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what the hell happened in the last book. It's like I'm completely trying to catch up in my mind with what happened in the last book to understand where the hell we are in this book. Because Sanderson writes prolifically and he puts out books pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
But the 2 to 3 years, I don't remember how the last one ended up. I mean,
that's why I don't read book series from any of the new authors and stuff until they're done. I don't, because I've got to have them one after another. I don't want to sit there and wait on this, wait on that. Very special books. King's Dark Tidings by Kel Cade.
Mm-hmm.
That's one that I'll wait for. Okay, and comics. That's a book I've recommended to you. Is the King's Dark Tidings by Kel Cade. Phenomenal story.
Let's check it out.
Absolutely, yeah. It really is a great story.
Literally, just started The Witcher.
And the Witcher series, great series.
Yeah,
Great series.
because it's a series I know nothing about. I played a little bit of Witcher 3.
What's the one with Driz? The Dark Elf.
The
Harry
Icewind Dale
Dresden?
trilogy.
Or-
Yeah.
No.
Which is like 50 books.
Well, yeah,
guy
I've
just
read the
writes.
original 3 actually this year because I've never read them. But yeah, there's a lot more Drizzt stories than the original Icewind Dale trilogy.
Right.
I want to say they call it the Dark Elf saga now.
Yeah.
Eventually,
That's good.
I'll get
He's
back
good.
to the rest of those books. Howard Horse, he is a great writer. But what kind of the whole thing with the Witcher 4 announcement and the Siri debate and whatnot, I'm like, I know nothing about this stuff. So I don't have a dog in this fight when it comes to certain things. I understand the lore reasons why what they're doing with Siri is a bad idea. Again, she just looks older to me more so than anything else. But anyway,
I'm not so sure
to read the books.
Yeah,
I'm not so sure on that point because even Az came out and said the books were always technically about Ciri.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
the whole story was leading up to her.
The Witcher is a character, but the story is Ciri's story if you actually look at the overarching thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it does kind of make sense that they would eventually go
He's pretty
there.
much a side character. In some of the books, he's only in about half the time.
Yeah, I've read a few of them. I have not read all of them.
I've read all of them,
most
and
of them.
it is a beautiful. The ending of the book series. One of the few times I'm like, okay, I can see it coming, but at the end, he really wrapped everything up, and it was really amazing.
Geralt die at some point?
Okay, no.
Okay.
Yes, no. Okay, yes, no. I'm just going to say that.
Okay.
It's one of those things. If you're not reading that book series to the end, you're missing out.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm having trouble figuring out the reading order of that book series.
Typically, whenever
there's a website, I'll show you if I can find it.
When I
got to get you
start reading a
this part
series,
early books,
I will read the entire series.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so my goal now, starting The Witcher, is to read all the books to have a better understanding. But I think Aiden Paladin basically kind of laid out everything wrong with this game from a lore perspective. But yeah, and I don't think a lot of people were denying that everything was kind of leading up to Ciri, because, like I said, I have no idea. I'm just gonna take Az's word for it based off of what he posted about it. And I think a lot of people knew, and I even got corrected on this when I said, well, why don't we have Geralt? And because people said there was resolution in the game.
Yeah,
so I think a lot of people understood that it was leading to Ciri as being the next character in The Witcher. I think the issue that people have is not with her being the main character, but being a Witcher.
Being a Witcher, which
Right.
is
Yes, there's that, but I'm also worried
in the
about
profession sense, but being able to take the mutagens and whatnot.
the trial of the grasses.
Yeah.
There's a
right, but
problem
I mean,
there.
you could explain that by saying that she's got different types of potions than what Witchers take because she's not a Witcher. I mean, game mechanics are still game mechanics. You're not going to get rid of an Estus flask from any Dark Souls game, Elden Ring game, that kind of thing, because that's the mechanic that players are used to.
Right.
So I think you're still going to have the mechanics. What I worry about is if people just I think you're probably right. A lot of gamers probably understand that this is where it was going.
Mm-hmm.
I fear that as people start hearing the news that she's going to be the main character, that it's just going to be snap.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're going woke. They're putting the girl in the lead in the game. They got rid of Geralt, and that's where I would like to cut this off at the knees.
Mm-hmm.
This is not that thing. I mean, the story for Geralt is over from everything that I've seen. Like I said, I haven't played the games.
The story is finished.
The story's finished. They're going on with the other character that from the books, Ciri is is kind of the character that the books revolve around, even though it's Geralt's story to a degree.
Well, the games came out
to a larger degree, right?
The games came out way after the books.
Yes.
The books were finished and all that stuff. So here's what I find funny. Those that are saying, oh, they changed her around and all this stuff and everything in the game and all this stuff. Guess what? They actually changed her around for the goddamn game. Okay? So the game's wrong. the books are right because the books came first.
Well, and
so I'm sorry. The game that you like was wrong. The game that you like was the reverse of woke, male woke, whatever the fuck you want to call it. They actually in the games made it about Geralt because he was the one doing all the fighting, which is what some of the books
in the
were
game
about.
is what makes sense.
It makes sense in the game.
You have to have the action in the game.
But it was not what's in the book. So if they decide to take the show and they're pulling away from what you're wanting to be in the game, it's not. They're making it after the books.
Well, okay. So first off, I want to point out the fact that the author of the books hates the game. Okay.
Yes.
It's the reason why
does.
he doesn't want movie. He hates the TV show too. It's the reason why he doesn't want
hate the TV show.
Yeah, he hates the TV show. He hates it.
At the same time, like I said, I'm reading book 1 right now. She has not been introduced. So the fact that you have Geralt going around fighting monsters in Witcher 3, totally fine.
Makes sense. That's why you would make a game about that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I'm going towards the art. People saying, "Oh, it's woke and all this stuff." Fuck off. Literally,
that's where we're trying to cut it out at the knees.
Totally done with that stuff. Right.
Yeah. And this is the thing that I want to get Mecha J's comment, which is this is the other side of the coin, though. It is true. CD Projekt Red has gone and I did they actually say DEI? I need to rewatch that video. I know it was ESG.
No,
I know
they've got a DEI. They have a DEI program.
Oh, they do. Okay, all right.
Yes.
I know that they that I watched that video several years ago when it came out, where they talk about the the ESG stuff. DEI, yes, is a part of that. Just because that's where social comes in with ESG, environmental social governance score. That's basically what it is. So there is that aspect. Like I said, based off the trailer, I can't tell you how much ESG and DEI is going to be in the game until we actually get it. Do I trust CD Projekt Red? No, because of that video. If that video didn't come out, I'd have a lot more faith in the game. It's like the whole thing with the Ghost of Yotei. I don't care if they have a female protagonist. I really don't. There's stuff. There are some red flags that we got to keep an eye out for. The other thing too, which is a major issue with a lot of these game studios, this is across the fucking board, is that the people that made the games that you love aren't there anymore, and that is a huge issue. Part of the reason why Mass Effect 3 sucks so badly is because Casey Hudson wasn't involved with it. That's an issue there. That the people who developed Cyberpunk 2077 aren't there. They left the company either because they got burnt out because of crunch, because they didn't like the direction the company was going, but they had this is the weird thing right now. Apparently, because they made an announcement, they literally just dropped a new patch for Cyberpunk that was not developed by CD Projekt Red. As a matter of fact, I want to say that largely
2.2.
Yeah.
2.2.
Yeah, it's a good possibility that they're actually going to be farming out some of their content to other companies for DLC, which I think is a good idea because Cyberpunk
makes sense.
Is a good game now that they fixed a lot of stuff. The last DLC was fucking phenomenal. Phantom Liberty was a great DLC. If they can get this other company to contribute more DLCs, because one of my biggest complaints about Cyberpunk is that there's not enough edge running in it. It's like we do have it in there, but that is a key thing to Cyberpunk is the jobs, being an edge runner, and I want more of that in the game. More side missions.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I just don't want everybody jumping all over it because it's a girl as the protagonist immediately.
No, but there are other concerns.
We'll see what happens. Right, and that's why you don't pre-order games anymore.
It's going to take them years to get around to making it completely anyway. This is a long haul. This is a long haul.
Well, they're 4 years in. They probably have another 4 years left of it.
So there's a lot more to come.
We sound hysterical if we start saying series to protagonist. We can't have that. I mean, that kind of stuff.
Oh my God! So it's going to match the books. Holy shit!
Well, I don't think any of us here have said that, but I do have my concerns.
No,
about the
but I
character
have seen
design.
it on Twitter all over the freaking place.
Right.
I mean, 70s is right. It's the game that you're playing and all that stuff, and you're afraid that they're going to put all this stuff in there, and they're going to suffer. The story's going to suffer. Because they're not.
Why you don't pre-order games anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
You wait until you see what's
what are the
actually
choices going to be? What's the story going to be? The main story going to be about? What are the messages that I don't trust CD Projekt Red now. So what are the messages going to be about that? Or is it going to be a genuine, your choices matter, you can do good, bad, and different things, and it doesn't take a point of view either way. So, I mean, the great thing about playing as Geralt in Witcher 3 particularly is you could play it amorally or morally or whatever. You could take multiple stances. So is that going to be the same, or is it going to push you down a Veilguard path of shittiness?
Well, I mean, there's no question that Geralt is a perfect video game protagonist character,
right?
Because you can, like indeed, you can play it in multiple different alignments, to use that term, and yeah, so that's the appeal.
It's a long way to go before we find out what that's going to look like. So
true.
Let me ask you this, Talk, since you actually have read the books. Is Geralt the main character, or is he the POV character? Are we saying that Ciri is the actual main character of the storyline? Because chat seems to be saying that Ciri, until the last two books, she's not the biggest part of it. There's a difference between the main character and a POV character. Because lots of books have POVs. It could be Geralt's POV, but the story is still about another character, but you're getting it from the POV of Geralt.
Well, there was a lot of
is that how
tales.
It's done?
There were multiple tales.
There were multiple stories and multiple things in
multiple points of view.
There were multiple points of view from multiple characters. Geralt's is an important point of view. So is Ciri an important point of view. Because so is Yennefer. And there are other characters along that important point of view. The Bard that they have in the series, in the television series, I think has more to do in that than he does in the books. Because I don't remember his character much from the books. And I read
I don't know what chapter I'm in. Sometimes the chaptering is kind of weird.
It is a little weird.
Because it seems like even though it is a book, a lot of it is like short stories.
Yeah, that's the ones that I've read is short stories kind of compiled. Like when he goes to the castle and the boar guy.
There's Day in the Life of
I just finished that one story.
Yeah.
That's the only book I've read is the one that has a whole bunch of short stories, and one of it is the boar guy that was in season 2 of The Witcher, I think, the TV series. But I mean, I don't know.
The actual
I haven't read enough.
Main character to me of the entire book series is only in it in the last part of the last book. Okay. I would give it away.
Okay.
All right. I would absolutely give it away because
to me, culture? Is it
I would
culture?
actually like to read it.
Culture Casino. Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying
he plays the dwarven character Weavis.
Weavis.
So he's a gnome. Kumix
division.
division.
An issue I have, and some people in the chat,
and this is I didn't want to, this. I don't know if this is where you're going. 70s. It originally started as a series in a magazine,
so that's why it feels like short
that's why it feels like this.
Okay,
I have a little bit of an issue potentially with making Ciri a Witcher because, as people in the chat have said, she actually was a very powerful human wielder of magic with elven blood, old elven blood. Wouldn't it have been nice to have continued her along that vein rather than making her?
But we don't know that they haven't yet.
I don't think she became a Witcher in the books. Can't remember.
No, she didn't. She
so it doesn't.
According to Aiden Paladin, apparently she becomes the Lady in the Lake in the Arthurian legends.
Oh my god! I was sitting there trying not to spoil that the entire time.
Sorry.
Was her hand
so you already know?
Did she lob a scimitar at somebody? Was she a moistened?
Yeah, that's no system. That's no basis for a system of government. 70s. Come on. So it's all right.
Supreme executive power derives from mandate from the masses.
The main character to the Witcher books, since you already know, to me is Arthur. All right, that's the main character at the end, and Ciri becomes a part of that story. It's a build-up of what happened in that area and all that stuff and everything to get to Camelot.
Interesting.
It's a build-up to that, and you can see he started out doing these things in a magazine and a book, and he read more. She is way more powerful than a Witcher with her elven blood. She's going to live way longer. And Yennefer and Geralt get your storybook ending. It's everything you could want in a fantasy book towards the end. If you're one of those people that I need to have, everything has to be roses and be great and in its place, right? Everybody has its place. Everybody has their place. And I can leave the story. When I left and read that last book, I could put it down and be done with it. There weren't any other questions or anything around it.
Perhaps the whole thing is a travesty, given that Michael Moorcock probably has some concerns over the whole thing. The Witcher is a bit of an Elric.
It is exactly an Elric knockoff. But both these authors are in countries that don't give a shit about copyright laws.
It's some pretty rip-off elements.
It's a huge rip-off. But Michael Moorcock's books.
What was it? The pale skin and white hair?
And swords doing stuff. Anyway,
Driz.
Jizz? Sorry, Driz. No.
Jizz. There's not too many original.
It's all a rip-off.
Yeah, it's all a rip-off, basically, of Lord of the Rings.
I still enjoyed it. The books, that is, and the games, but yeah.
So anyway, comics already knew all that crap. So there you go. Here I am trying to be nice.
I didn't. You ruined
it. Sorry about that. Yeah, you ruined it for Brahma.
I ruined it for everybody else, but not for me. All right, real quick. Monkey G's
sorry I spoiled this 30-year-old book.
Yeah. Became a member at the I'll buy that. No, take my money, damn it. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Jesus.
Dearest for $5 says Brahma is right. Also, if they are doing 8 to 14 episode seasons, they should be having 2 or 3 times the shows in production for the year. Yeah.
Right, but in streaming, you don't have a guarantee that you're getting a new season. So,
technically,
production until after
old TV, there was no guarantee you got a second season either.
There was none, but you knew when it was going to air, and you knew when you were going to get renewed or canceled. What we have in streaming is there is no pilot, there is nothing that guarantees you anything, but you really can't start doing a new season until Netflix or Paramount or whoever comes out and says, okay, that was successful 3 weeks after it ended. You're greenlit for a new season. And that's automatically a year and a half minimum, right? To get another season put together between writing and getting the production team back together, everything. I mean, so that's why we're looking at 2 years between seasons.
Yep. Bad fucking idea.
Yeah,
real fucking bad idea.
Freaking mess.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, Penguin, if it does go to a second season, like Culture thinks it will, we're not seeing it till 2026.
Yeah, and then the momentum.
And at that
lost.
point, I will not remember 90% of what happened in this season.
That's a big issue. Is the momentum.
Some of those series it's hard to restart because they've already struck the sets.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
People also change their looks, their appearances, hairstyles. Those things.
Some of them die. Some of them die.
Exactly. Some of them die.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a problem for a soap, of course. His head was cut off.
Oh my
we can
God!
Bring him back. We'll figure it out.
Died in a surgery.
The evil twin brother and the good one died.
Well, so also, are they waiting until the Batman 2 comes on? Say, okay, we'll do a second season then. Even then, that's still gonna you're taking
no fucking clue, dude. No clue.
But what do we
All
think
I know is
reason...
Another World's one of the best soap operas out there, right, Belle?
Another World?
As the World Turns.
Another World. That's not a soap opera.
Another World Turns.
Another World was a soap opera after Days of Our Lives on NBC.
Yeah, Days of Our Lives.
As the World Turns was on CBS.
Days of Our Lives.
And Days of Our Lives was NBC. But As the World Turns started Meg Ryan's career.
Yep.
Yeah, but is Swan's Crossing still around?
No.
I don't know Swan's Crossing. I didn't watch
it. It's sunk into the sea.
It was the one that Sarah Michelle Gellar got her start on.
Because
she was on a soap
I'm totally wrong. Another World is a
before.
soap opera. I'm thinking of a different show.
Look at the Aussie soaps. Russell Crowe and people like that got their start in Aussie soaps.
Oh yeah. You've
Crowe,
got to learn to be an actress.
Guy Pearce, all these guys. Yeah.
Rick Springfield.
Comics. I think you were thinking of.
He wishes he was Jesse's girl.
He does.
Yeah.
I think you were thinking that Another World was the sequel to the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
it was
a different.
I thought that was called Another
drink.
That's Darker World. What? A different world. Sorry.
It's called
Different
another
world.
drink.
It's called
Maybe-
different world, but
Different
yeah,
world. No, so-
another drink.
It's called
Fits.
Dr. Sleep. Is that what that was?
Dr. Sleep.
Sleep therapist in Sacramento.
Oh, God.
Dr. Sleep. You gonna get some pudding pops?
Pudding,
It's
and then
thinking
I'm
of
going to
nip and
Oh yeah,
like nip and tuck without an F instead of a T. But, you know.
he's getting out of jail soon.
Who's in
Is he?
jail?
He's already out.
Is he
Cosby.
out?
Bill Cosby.
But Cosby's
Yeah.
been out for
Oh,
He's still
yeah,
alive?
yeah,
Is he still
Yeah.
alive?
Barely.
He's
Yeah.
in his 80s, but yeah, he's out.
Yeah.
Same thing as Weinstein. They basically said, "Yeah,
How have
you
I been
brought in
sleeping
too
on
much,
the Cosby story?
You brought in too much evidence that was not pertinent and
Yeah.
should have been a mistrial," and
Yep.
they let him out.
Yeah.
Well,
Basically.
I think the Weinstein
General
trial
Hospital.
was a bit weird because of all the people that could have testified and the evidence could have been given against him, they went with just some very narrow allegations by
Well-
very few people. And
Well,
they
Brian,
tried,
I hate
tried
to
to
break
keep
it
it
to you.
narrow. They
This is not
tried.
about justice. It's about
Yes.
power and
They
control of
kept
an
it
industry.
in the box so that too many names didn't
Right.
get
The next thing you're going to be
implicated.
telling me is that tossing swords and swords being handed out by some tart in a lake is not a system of government.
It's
It-
not,
it's
oh,
nice for that.
it's
All right.
supreme executive powers derived from
I
mandate
think
for the masses.
you'll appreciate
That's right.
this talks, being from Oklahoma, as I think I was 4 or 5, we went to the mall, me and my family,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a black guy walking towards us, and I actually pointed out and said, "Look, it's the Pudding Man," because that was
Great.
about
That-
the only person I had ever
Your
seen
parents
on
must have
TV.
been so proud.
Oh, they were so pissed.
Oh, yes. Yes. We're sorry. He's going to be a much bigger racist when he gets older. Yeah.
I'm sorry, our son's retarded.
Yeah, it was funny, but it was.
Would you like to play some baseball, little Brahma?
4 or 5-year-old in Oklahoma, you didn't see a lot of.
It's like living in Portland. There really is no black people there.
There's nothing
There's
but
like
pasty
5.
white
You can
people.
count on one hand. All right. The Dead Man for $4.99.
Hey,
The
thank
Americans had 13 to 15 episodes and no real filler. That seemed to be ideal. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't always have to be for every show. Has to be 20 episodes or 20 plus episodes. I think you need to do what makes sense. I know we joke about, all these Disney Plus shows had too many episodes because they were supposed to be movies. And rather than actually go back to the drawing board and come up with 10 actual episodes for a season, they just said, "Oh, we're gonna take what we have and extend it out."
Mhm.
And that's how you get filler and garbage on a streaming platform, which is basically everything on Disney Plus, with the exception of X-Men '97.
Well, and the thing is, because of the way we do series now, filler episodes don't really exist in the way that they used to.
But they're
in a
still filler episodes.
you could have an right, but you could have an overarching story for a season that was 22 episodes long or even 16 episodes long, and some of them would be filler that didn't
Well,
necessarily
X-Files,
tie into the
X-Files.
main thing,
Right.
but they were good episodes that were
X-Files.
standalone episodes that
Right.
just
Monster
got
of the
you
Week and
through
then
the
story.
season.
Monster of the
Yep.
Week.
And we don't get that anymore.
I love
No.
The filler episodes we get are just
Those
boring,
episodes of
trying to get
X-Files.
you to the next piece of content.
Yep.
But it was a good point about the Americans. And so there are some, like The Sopranos, the Americans, 13 power-packed episodes, right? Well written, well done, concentrated to the point.
Quality over quantity.
Exactly. Then
Well, The
they do that
Sopranos-
once a week and put that stuff out, and you're going to pay for HBO $10-15 a month
Yep.
for the entire year to get those quality shows. Because it wasn't just The Sopranos. Boardwalk Empire,
That
HBO
was
had,
good.
a Boardwalk Empire. Steve Buscemi can act. That was a great, great series. But it wasn't the only one that they had. Carnival, they didn't give it enough seasons. But there
No,
were
they didn't.
so many things that HBO came
Rome.
out with. Rome,
Deadwood.
Game of Thrones before
Deadwood.
season fucking 8, and maybe 7. And then, but HBO does real good 5-6 years, because 5-6 years at 10 to 12 episodes, that kind of power pack writing, because Sopranos could be anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on the story they needed to tell. They took the time to tell the story they needed to tell the right way.
Well, they
That's
didn't
why
al-
the show was
they
great.
didn't always have episodes that were action packed either. The Sopranos had a lot of much quieter episodes that were very much focused on just
Intrigue.
a little bit
Yeah.
of family stuff or whatever.
Mhm.
But because they'd so well developed and written these characters, it was still good. It didn't have to be.
Those filler episodes in The Sopranos still had something that was sometimes
Yes.
remarkable that would pay off in the long haul. Whereas nowadays you have filler episodes where almost literally, in some cases, literally nothing happens. It's just there to fill up the episode count because there's a mandate.
Like
that
all
this show
5
needs to be
seasons of
X amount
Discovery.
episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, you could say this episode of The Landman was kind of filler because it
I
didn't
don't
progress
agree.
the story all that much. It gave you what could be coming next, but really all it did was react to the last episode and kept it isolated to this episode. It really didn't advance the story, although you can see where it's going to
It
advance
could
the
be
story.
what would they
in
I
the
would
next
say
few
it
episodes.
advanced 2 plot lines. The one with the cartels because of the meeting that he had, and he's like, you better call your contacts like right now.
But that was 3 minutes out of the whole episode.
I know. And then you had the stuff that happened with the fallout with
Angela.
Well, with Angela, but also with Cooper. So I mean,
right. But ultimately, it's setting up the future episodes. It wasn't an episode where a
Mm-hmm.
ton of stuff happened, except for some action sequences that actually were based on the last episode,
right,
and a few episodes before.
So
this was
but if it's
not
the only
a
one
plot advancing episode.
So if it's a connector episode or if it's a setup episode, that's one thing. Filler episodes are things you could just toss all of it out.
And
that's
Yeah.
true. I would call it a connector episode, more than a filler episode.
I've got to get you from here to here. How does that happen?
Right.
And you had that in The Sopranos. How do I get from here to here and all that stuff? And you see all the like Richie Aprile and how his character was brought along and all that stuff to where it ended up. That took forever to build that up.
Yeah.
Whereas opposed to Big Pussy being the informant, that kind of like dropped like a ton of bricks, right? And stuff from there. But that's the beauty of the writing of that is some of those stories are long and grinding in life that, okay, yeah, after 20 years, this guy's a fucking asshole. And then the other ones are like, your best friend forever has been caught by the government. That's real life stuff that would happen to gangsters and in that. So,
and we all know Talks likes a show about grinding.
Indeed.
100%.
All right, guys, we got to wrap things up. So I think we're caught up on everything. Yes, we are. So let me pan it over to Southern Belle.
Hey,
Welcome back.
hey, thanks, comics. Great discussion. I've really enjoyed Landman. I mean, at first I thought, oh, this is a guy thing, but then I got into it and sucked in. It's probably the soap opera part. But some of the stuff Angela says, some of it is kind of true to life. Like when she was cooking the dinner, the bolognese and all that stuff, she had an expectation of how the dinner was going to go. And when it didn't meet her expectations, then she got disappointed and depressed and really went off and took it out on them for not living up to her fantasy that she had in the mind of how dinner would go. And that happens with a lot of girls because they fantasize about something when they look forward to something and cooking the dinner and thinking how the conversation's going to go. And when that doesn't happen, then they get mad at the guy. But the guy has no clue that they've been thinking about it all day long and played out 100 scenarios of different conversations that they wanted to have and stuff. But I found that he writes really well for women in that instance.
Yeah, it was super realistic.
Yeah, very realistic and stuff. And I felt that was more true, and it's just throwing the whole dinner in the trash and stuff. So that felt very true to life. So
well, the unrealistic portion was that it didn't show that she had ordered the bolognese from Olive Garden and that the to-go orders were in the trash can.
Yes. Yeah, I did 3 tubs of meat and stuff and threw it together and spread it over.
And then you find out it's actually from Olive Garden. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and then the Witcher stuff, thanks Talks for running that for me. I appreciate that. But actually it makes me want to read it more. So I'll probably add that to my
you should because I'm lying.
Oh, so it doesn't lead to
everyone
a
dies
hearing?
horribly at the end, and
Oh,
no
okay.
one's happy.
The world
Okay.
ends and only preppers survive.
Exactly.
Indeed.
Oh, okay.
We
In
kill
true
all
comics
the
division
buffalo.
But they're
channel-
miserable. But they're miserable, even though
Yeah.
they survived.
The only
Well-
one that survives is comics, and then he raises a mutant set of midget Amazons that come out.
That
and-
literally makes no sense.
Yeah, well, I know.
Here's Brian. Speaking of
Yeah.
things that don't make sense.
I don't make any sense, so don't ask me. Witcher 3 was good though. Played that. I don't know how many times I played that game. Every time I play it, I say this time I'm going to play it differently, and I don't end up doing exactly the same things, make the same
Mhm.
decisions, go to the same brothels. You know, it's great game, Witcher 3. Well, thank you. I'm sorry I was late tonight, but thank you for having me anyway. Appreciate it very much. Nick and I will be doing Toxic Tuesday tomorrow night. Bad Santa, I believe.
Ooh,
Yes, sir.
Bad Santa.
We're
Looking
gonna
forward
talk
to
about
it.
our fuck stick.
That's right. And then Wednesday on my show, on my channel, we'll be talking about the Who album, Who's Next. That was just a little bit. It's time to for
So
no.
who's next?
Who's next? Exactly. Who's on first?
What's on second?
Yeah.
I don't know who's on third.
But anyway,
There's no
no
Boris
particular
Slider on
reason
that
other than I just
album.
felt like talking about the Who. So why
Fair
not?
enough.
Who?
So Who?
I don't
What?
understand.
Eh? So
I wasn't here for that.
wonderful album. Should be a lot of fun.
Mhm.
As usual. So
Only 12 guitars were harmed in the making of this album.
yeah, indeed.
Indeed.
Ooh. Yes, hi. Tonight's good. Landman is good. Hopefully it stays good. Creature Commandos sucks. Don't watch it. And yes, I actually did watch. I don't review shows I don't watch.
Oh my God, JT! Jesus Christ!
What did I miss?
I just checked my timeline. Somebody mentioned memes. I was checking to see what Robbie did, and I saw something that I'll show you guys. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. Sorry, Nick. Continue on.
No, you're good. Yeah, tomorrow, Bad Santa. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be less Toxic Tuesday for the year, and there'll be some stuff on the way. I will say when I'm ready to come out of the closet about it. But I want you all to come get toxic with us tomorrow because it's Billy Bob Thornton, and right now with him on the high with Landman, why not ride the wave of the Billy Bob? Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
I don't know what my schedule is anymore.
Neither do I.
You have a schedule?
Makes any sense.
Well, I'm on a stream every single night of the week, but I also have family arriving starting tomorrow for Christmas. So I really don't know which streams I'm going to be able to make. I know I will be able to do Bourbon and Boarding because it's late night Saturday, and I know I will be able to do my Sunday night or Sunday morning bullpen because most people don't care at that time of day as far as who's here. But our evening streams, I may miss a couple. So I don't know if we're having a gaming stream tomorrow because they're arriving tomorrow and I think I have to pick them up from the airport. So it's kind of in flux for the next 2 weeks. So
I'm amazed at how much of your life you have no idea about.
yeah, people are just showing up for Christmas. So it's that time of the year. I mean, we're doing the hosting Christmas thing. So
just to let
if we're
everybody
hosting, if everybody's here, there's a very good chance that there's not a chance in hell I'm going to be allowed to come out to the garage and talk for 3 hours.
So just to let everybody out there know
No,
that
fair enough.
if you want Christmas dinner and some drinks, go over to Brahma's. Everyone's going there.
Oh, and yeah.
Christmas with the Bulls.
Yesterday I went to Safeway and they had the $4.97 per pound whole prime rib if you bought all the bones. So yeah, got a full size prime rib for $100.
Nice.
And gonna be cutting that thing into 3 or 4 bone pieces and freezing it because yeah, that'll survive me the whole next year. But yeah, if you like prime rib, go get that $4.97 deal right now. I think we're getting close to New Year's and Christmas.
I'll run out to my closest Safeway.
Yeah,
Safeway,
we're
Albertsons,
flying.
King
We're going.
Supers.
Yeah,
I mean, they all run it at about $4.57 to $4.97 a pound if you buy the whole package. If you buy the actual pre-cut ones, it's like $8.97 a pound or $10.97 a pound. So you get a whole prime rib for $100, or you get 3 bones for like what, $60? Go get the whole,
it's kind of a
cut it,
no-brainer.
freeze it. Yeah.
shopping.
I do
deals
it.
are
I do it
fun.
every year, and then I've got prime ribs throughout the year for every major occasion that I want to have a prime rib. And
Nice.
they're good. But yeah, it'll be a weird 2 weeks. I will let everybody know when I'm on and when I'm not. It'll kind of depend on the wife, the family, whether I can sneak away for a couple hours. So hope everybody has a fantastic Christmas. I know I'll see you before then, but cheers, everybody. Thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you. All right, guys, we're going to speed run through this crap because I really do need to go to bed. So this is Sabertooth Raptors new ship that is showing off. Let me get the grayscale ones before I hit the ones where you actually started doing the color grading on it. Very cool, man. You seriously need to do more of this stuff. And I hope you actually have a job doing this stuff. This is really fucking cool. Did I grab the right one? There we go. Nope, that's the same one.
That's what she said.
There we go. And like the side view on this ship. This is pretty badass. Now, as for memes, guys, holy crap.
I'm pretty sure that one's one of the New Jersey drones right now.
Probably. Robbie had some good ones. We have Brahma holding bull's milk.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have I know this is like a Calvin Hobbes thing, but supposed to be Calvin pissing on Yellowstone?
Yeah.
Yes. So it's a infamous thing that you put on the back of your truck. Calvin.
Yeah, I'm familiar
truck,
with Calvin
bumper sticker.
peeing on things. It's like,
Yeah.
Ford, Chevy, stuff like that. It just looks kind of weird.
wasn't
Lily
that
Phillips is
bad.
now patient 0 for a new STD never seen before.
Yeah.
This is the one that Jake did.
Yeah,
Oh my
I saw
God.
that one too. That's a lot less horsey sauce than I thought would be on there.
Yeah, I think this is the first time that vaginal prolapse was ever mentioned on your show, Comics.
Yeah, see, that was
it's a
only
proud
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 100 guys.
Yep. My favorite is actually Drew's face being put on to the character. That's fucking hilarious, guys.
Oh, I thought that was Michelle Obama.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Might as
Without
well
her
be.
weave.
Gina was a man. Sorry.
Hello, LA Lola.
Dogs.
Oh, hey. I am Toxic Man Flu, and there's some people out in the chat that like to post Spider-Man stuff at me and Wesley stuff at me several times a week, and then they come on here and they spend money to make fun of me and to and Comics and the others, and very special people. All of them gay. So there you go. That's great.
People make
Thursday. Nobody really makes fun of you. I don't know why. I guess it's because you look like a 1920s enforcer gangster with the white tie.
I do class up the place.
You do. But we'll be back Thursday. Then Comics will be on Friday Night Tights, and then he does a gaming stream.
Comics
Saturdays at
will
10.
not be on Friday Night Tights this week.
Yes.
Oh, he won't. Why not?
No, I wouldn't. I got
Christmas party.
Christmas party.
All right. Somebody
He
invited
has
you.
a job now, so there's
So which
Well,
one?
you know,
obligations
so which-
outside of job.
Which one of
It's a
us?
temp job, but it's nice the fact that they invited me to the party. So
Which one of us are going on Friday night tights in your place?
None of you bastards.
Really?
Yeah, well,
What's wrong with
I
you?
think I'd be a very interesting addition to the show for about 5 minutes before Gary.
Much
kicked
more
me out.
interesting
Before
subtraction.
Gary kicks you
than
off,
addition.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so yeah, no Friday Night Tights for Ian Simmons there.
Roland?
But F&T will still happen, even though
Yeah, it still
Thomas
will.
won't be there.
It might still be good, but the chances with Ian not being there are low.
There's a much better chance that these shows get promoted with comics not there, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
And is it Ugly Sweat or not? Are you going to miss Ugly Sweat or not?
Have you seen him dress?
Anyway,
ugly sweater
thanks for
every
grabbing
night.
$2. Sent you an email. Yeah, I already got everything. Good night, all. Good night to you, sir.
Night.
And good night to
Good night.
everybody else, because I'm tired and I want to go to bed. I'm pulling
Yeah,
a
outta
Coach
here.
Casino. I'm pulling the stream over. Good night, everyone. Take care. Hope you have a Merry Christmas in case I
Yes,
don't
Comics
see you.
Division's Ballsack. We don't know who that account owner is.
Oh, yeah. It's
a
totally,
mystery.
totally not.
Total
Fox
mystery
America.
of who's doing that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway.
Culture Casino. I've got a headache, and you're not getting any more tonight.
Yep. Anyway, good night, folks. Take care. Merry Christmas. If I don't see you. Until then, catch you later.
Technically, you
Cheerio.
don't see anybody when you're streaming. They see you.
You
Cheerio.
I know what you're saying.
stop. Enjoy the
I
credits.
see him.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
Brand new credits.
Yes. Recently updated as of the first.
Some sexy
And
people on
finally-
that list.
Finally showing up on the
As
16th.
of the 1st, and we're on the 16th.
It takes a while. There's been a lot of stuff happen in the last
Really?
couple of months.
Really
There
has been.
really has been. It has been one of the most difficult times I've ever had. Just work and all kinds of junk.
Working like a dog.
By the way, since we didn't get to it, CNN is absolutely screwed.
Oh my god. HGTV got more views than them, and MSNBC's even worse off.
Yeah,
Was
but
that girl
CNN,
fired? Is the girl
CNN
fired?
had a reporter literally go in and free a prisoner in Syria, and that prisoner, after they aired the segment, turns out to be one of the Assad regime's
Torturer.
premier torturers.
That's right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she thought he was a prisoner when she went into the prison, even though he had manicured nails, no waste bucket in the prison cell.
Oh yeah, and
Nothing.
when they went, I'm going to shoot the lockout. No! If you're ever in that situation and somebody says, I'm going to shoot the lockout, run as far away from them as you can. Because nothing says bullets going to ricochet and fragment and wound everybody around it than trying to shoot out a metal lock like that in a prison cell.
Well, that's why they said they had to turn off the cameras to shoot the lock.
Yeah,
But-
it's like, even the people that are lying to try and tell us these stories only think of things from movies and think of it as real life.
Yep.
But he literally walks out into the sunshine after claiming that he's not seen the sun in 3 months because he's been
Yeah,
locked
that
in
was
this.
so much bullshit.
He doesn't even flinch from sunlight. I mean, we all saw that whole CNN
wasn't a vampire.
segment was BS. It just turns out it's so much better that they released a torturer into the public again.
Mm-hmm.
And that their journalism standards are as such that they could not
Such
figure that out
dumb
before
shits.
airing a segment.
Such dumb shits, they really are.
I don't believe any of them.
Also, it's going to be hilarious when Trudeau has to resign tomorrow.
Is he going to have to
I
do
didn't-
that?
He almost resigned today.
Yeah.
It's any day coming.
It's a clusterfuck. He should have resigned
Were they-
8 years ago.
His finance minister resigned today, and the person behind her said, "I don't want the job,"
Yeah, because
and
it's
resigned.
because the economic forecast and budget are toxic.
Well, that and everybody's looked at it, and even the left in Canada has said, we can't afford groceries or anything at this point, and you're antagonizing Trump to get tariffs to go higher. Our economy can't survive that. The left is screwed in Canada. It doesn't mean that they're going to get a conservative into the office, but Trudeau is going to be gone in the next few days.
That's all right. He's made his millions out of all his corruption. So
That's the point.
He's happy.
Well, he made his millions from being a Cuban child.
I think comics is going to come out tomorrow.
All these
too.
contracts that he's.
Good night, folks. We're out of here.
Bye.
Night, everybody.
Bye.